Boston's home for sports. 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Taylor Houth looked very much like an all-star last night. He allowed just 2 hits over 6 shutout innings, and the Red Sox beat Oakland 7-0 at Fenway Park. Masataka Yoshida added a 2-run single and a 2-run homer to lead the offense as the Sox took 2 out of 3 from the A's. They lead Kansas City by 1 game for the final playoff spot in the American League, and the Royals will begin a 3-game series at Fenway tonight. Yesterday, The Athletic reported that Sox have been looking for a veteran starting pitcher and a right-handed power bat to acquire before the deadline at the end of the month. In NBA news, the Celtics' Jaylen Brown won an ESPY award last night for Best Championship Performance. The league will announce the groupings for the second annual in-season tournament tonight. This tournament has been renamed the NBA Cup. Also, Philadelphia has re-signed Kyle Lowry, and Miami apparently has no intention of signing Jimmy Butler to the contract extension he wants. Butler can opt out of his current deal after this season. Tennessee has signed former Jets and Seattle safety Jamal Adams, and today has been semifinal day at Wimbledon. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, now open in Raynham, Reading, and Braintree. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Boston's first FM all sports radio station.
Let's go!
All sports radio. Boston's home for sports. 98.5 the Sports Hub.
Fred, hello. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Hello.
He's naked. He has a sword.
Oopity about with a football.
98.5! The Hub!
Bruins are back from the West Coast.
Cocaine and hookers, yes. Na.
Is it okay to use this for the radio?
Yeah, welcome to the show, you sweet.
Me along nicely.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Town Fair Tire Studios. You can watch this on YouTube. Get involved in the conversation. You can go to youtube.com, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Search that. You can know that we are sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. And also, it's very exciting that you can call us at 617-779-0985.
I wish you would. I wish you'd give us a ring-a-ding-ding. Let's talk.
Let's yap. Let's chew the fat.
Let's gab, you know?
Yeah.
Let's spill the tea.
Let's give everyone their flowers. It's funny, like when sports talk people, I told you Robin Lundberg was on yesterday, which is a real kick in the balls. But like just some guys are bad, but he's so bad that I do feel the need to say it. But
People keep running him out there, and God bless him, despite all the criticism, he has not changed a bit.
No, but there are certain phrases from the youth or perhaps the urban community that mainstream sports talk guys pick up, and I find it infuriating when they use. Like, everyone on ESPN has decided to say, like, give them their flowers or give them the bag.
So giving the flowers bothers me more than giving him the bag, because giving him the flowers, I know it's two totally different things, but if you watch until the end of True Detective Season 1, you will find that, spoiler alert, the killer's girlfriend asks him to have sex with her that day. And they are both of I'd say a limited mental state, these two people. Mm-hmm. And she calls it, and she is like a big, fat, sweaty, very dirty looking person. But he says, she says to the killer, it's like, are we going to make flowers? We haven't made flowers in a while. And that was their terminology for having sex. making flowers. So I don't like any talk of giving flowers or making flowers anymore.
It's just like that there's terms that are used and then they just get picked up by like ESPN people and you go, ugh. Like, and they all say them. Like, they hear one say them, so they all say them, and then they sound ludicrous when they do say it. It flowers and give them and then they all decide to say give them the bag, which is annoying to me. And then they all say chip instead of championship, which annoys me too.
They also say in his bag when discussing basketball highlights.
Oh, I thought that meant when you were at the morgue.
Oh.
Or when you're at the hospice. What were you doing? Oh, I was in Harold's bag. Colostomy.
You want that for that? You're not getting that for that.
No, I just went, hey. I was in the bag. Which one? Cleaning. Harold, you made a mess. Whoopsie daisies. I read that, I listened to that Perry book, the Matthew Perry book, and he had to wear a colostomy bag for a year.
Oh, God.
Because what happens is when you take those opiates, it really backs you up. And then when you get backed up like that, in terms of being constipated, your like colon blows up. Like his colon like legit blew up. His colon or his intestines blew up.
Ugh.
And it was a whole scene. And then he was like gonna die, but he had for 1 year he had like a colostomy bag. And that's why he was all like, it was difficult for him to talk. Have you been following what's going on with that anymore recently?
No, and we talked about it a little bit. I saw they were reopening the investigation to find out how he got so much ketamine, who prescribed it, what was going on with that. But I didn't follow up.
Yeah, because he in the book is like very into these ketamine treatments, and for someone who is as severe a drug addict as he was, it does like I would consider getting like ketamine treatment if they said it was something that could improve your life, but I never had like a across the board drug problem. Like I'd feel for wise or not, I would feel comfortable doing it. So I'm not begrudging anyone for doing that, but he was like really bad. Like he gave himself a colostomy bag. Like he was, going to open houses of houses that were on sale so he could go into medicine cabinets and try to find painkillers. He was ordering painkillers while he was in rehab. He was like a really like severe drug addict. So you would think at that point that maybe like I would just eschew drugs. Like I just wouldn't want to take any drugs because I would be under the mind I would abuse them. And ketamine's like a dissociative drug, a fairly powerful drug. And you can go to the doctor and they can give you these IV drips of ketamine, and it's supposed to like help with PTSD and depression and stuff, and I don't doubt that it probably does. But when it's over, like you don't have ketamine like really in your system. Like you don't leave there under the influence of ketamine. Like no doctor would do that. So the idea that he drowned with like a ton of ketamine in his system never made sense to me, because if you went out today and got a ketamine treatment, like you could come to work tomorrow. Like you could come to work tomorrow. Like you wouldn't be like still like, like they administer it. It's a doctor through an IV. Like they know what they're doing. You would think, and I don't think that they leave enough in you that you get home and then like later that night you drowned in a hot tub because you had an assload of ketamine in your system. Have you ever been around anyone on K?
No.
Okay.
I mean, not that I know of.
Well, you know people that I've seen on K, and not in Boston, but you know people. I can tell you off air.
Oh,
okay.
But I know there was a time when I was like in my 20s where a lot of people were doing K. I never did it, and they just become like zombified, like complete zombies, like awake but like they can't do anything. Like a friend of mine lived in my apartment complex And I got up for my morning show, and we were on the air at like 5:30, so I was leaving at like 5:20. No, I was leaving at like before 5. And I came down, and the music was on in his apartment. His door was open, and his lights were on, and he was laying in between the outside and the inside.
Oh.
And then, like, I was
boy.
like, hey, wake up. And
Yeah.
he wouldn't wake up, but he was, like, alive. So I called, like, his friend, and I'm like, hey, so-and-so's in the doorway. And then I went to work. And it turned out that he had been, like, all on K.
So you left him there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I left him there. It was a different time, Johnny
Yes.
boy. I
Yes.
was like 25 years old, Like I wasn't
Well, the way you described it was funny.
No. As I'm saying it, I realize it doesn't sound like great.
No.
But it was 24 years ago, so I mean, what do you want out of me? And
Well,
he's
it's different
alive and
times.
well, and and he no longer does K.
Great.
He's the guy whose property in Atlanta got turned into a very severe gay porn palace.
Oh, same guy. Okay.
Same guy.
Now that connects.
As opposed
Well,
to
it doesn't really.
as opposed to all the subtle and law-abiding gay porn palaces, because
No. I am not assuming just because it was a gay porn palace that it was even bad. I'm saying that this particular brand of gay porn was exceptionally
you're
aggressive.
talking about the actual. So the severe refers to the type of pornography.
Yeah, if they were filming like, hey, like the neighbor's coming over and we're going to make out and have sex, like that's one thing. What was going on in this apartment? That's not ideal. You wouldn't want anyone making porn, and probably if you're not gay porn would make it a little more uncomfortable. What was going on in this apartment was a scene. Like they were testing the boundaries of the human body. I can't tell you how funny it was. I can't tell you how I can on the air.
But it was a rented home. This was.
My friend owned it, and he sublet it because he was going to, or he didn't sublet it. He owned it, and he rented it out because he spent 8 months a year in New York City, and he had this place in Grant Park in Atlanta, and it was a condo, and he rented it to this black guy. It doesn't matter that he's black, but it is kind of funnier. He was like a big, muscular black guy, and he, again, very quickly, I've told this story many times. I'm sorry if you heard it before, but he got word that weird stuff was happening in the house. So one of his friends investigated. They kind of heard some stories, and he sent my friend a link to a website, and sure enough, it was his apartment with the guy he rented it to, and there were devices and things of great, great size being used in all kinds of strange ways. Lots and lots and lots of almost mean things going on.
Yeah, it's almost like torture-like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine everyone was enjoying themselves.
Oh.
It was and then think about it this way too. Not only is that going on, but the people that want to see that particular violent brand of pornography all are, looking at your apartment or your condominium. So when he kicked the guy out, which was not easy, the law is not on your side. But when he kicked the guy out and finally got him out, he ripped up the floors, not the carpet, but the floors. He had to do
renovation.
You hazmat.
Hardy.
You hazmat the place after that.
Yeah.
But you go down to the studs.
He went down. He picked up the floor. It was where there was hardwood floor. He legit, I think, redid the floor. I know he repainted because I don't know what you could do to the walls. He repainted the walls and the ceiling, and for more than anything, that he didn't want prospective buyers to find out.
Yeah.
If there was a murder in the house.
Yeah.
You replaced all the furniture, I assume.
Oh, Johnny, come on. No, he kept the
He
mattress.
replaced everything but the mattresses and the sheets and the towels.
I actually
Those
don't
stayed.
To be honest with you, I don't think it was his furniture. I think that he had taken furniture out, but I don't know for a fact. But if there was furniture, I'd imagine if you replaced the floors, that he got rid of the furniture. But
But Fred, all that talk of ketamine, and here, how do we let this happen? Wednesday came and went, and we didn't do our new bit. ketamine would have been a great drug for Wallach to try.
Yeah, Radzik.
Did you see that picture of Mark Worrell? I've never seen a guy look like he was hopped up on 25 glasses of soda.
John tries a new drug every Wednesday at 9.
Oh, this is weird, man.
One that won't mess up his beak when he's doing headlines. John tries a new drug picked out by Fred. One to take when he wants to play his clarinet.
So, could ketamine be the first drug that John tries as part of this new summer segment, Wednesday, 9 a.m.?
We could
Ketamine.
have a doctor come in and legally administer it. But I did get a call from our program director, and he said, I don't think that you can do that. He goes, I don't think that Beasley would like it if you gave him crack. That could cause me problems. So that crack is whack. And if he's going, and I ain't giving you none of mine. All right, very good. Actually, there's not quite a bit, but there's some things to talk about in the world of sports. Some things that I have a very strong opinion on that run counter to what I've been hearing in the interim. But go ahead, Hardy. What do we got coming up?
Yeah, well, the lead off with that. A fine pitching performance last night that some feel was cut short. And, not even talking about the Red Sox and their shutout win over the Athletics last night. We're talking about something else. But we'll talk about all of it, Fred.
Oh, it's very exciting. All right, we'll have that for you in just a moment. Hardy, what happened last evening?
A lot of people were watching Paul Skenes as he was on the mound yesterday. And apparently this has become a thing now where Skenes is pitching and you go to see him as he did last night in Milwaukee, and Brewers fans are there. People are there to see the opposing pitcher. And this in and of itself, I would say, is good for baseball. The fact that you've got people coming to the park, not just to see their guy go, but an opposing pitcher coming to town and on the mound, kicking and dueling, which is what he was doing last night. And after a six pitch, seventh inning.
What the heck? 1-0 count on Freeling. Little bouncing ball, and Paul Skenes, who knows?
Beautiful.
6-pitch inning.
What do you think? 99 pitches. He's got the no-hitter going. The guy is working.
Through seven.
And they pulled him. 99 pitches, pulled him out of the game, was working on a no-hitter, and a lot of people lost their minds. Now, Fred, I know you have a lot to say about this. Do you want to hear from Paul Skenes first?
Yeah, because he wasn't happy after the game, so yeah, you should play that.
Being able to use all my weapons and attack with them and trust them, probably a little bit more than earlier in the season. I had to grind through those first few innings, but got a couple quick innings in there and just, definitely wanted to finish it, but throwing every 6 days, 5 days, whatever it is now, definitely understand that side of it. That's their job, and they do it really well, so, wasn't worried at all when I came out of the game.
Okay, so obviously he wasn't happy about it. All right, here.
And he did say this is 5 seconds long.
There are days where it's going to be better than others, and having all your weapons helps, and it's kind of how it was today.
Yeah, he said he had all his stuff working.
Well, every day for him has been good. He has got a under 2 ERA. All right, so I did not hear one person yesterday say he should have been pulled for the game. Any radio broadcaster. Now, here is why, some of the reasons that I heard he should have been left in the game. A, it's good for baseball. B, he's going to start the All-Star game because Sale's pitching on Sunday and can't pitch on Tuesday, so Skenes is going to pitch the All-Star game, and wouldn't it be something to see Skenes coming off a no-hitter pitch against Aaron Judge? And if I was Rob Manfred, I'd be on the phone with the Pirates going, what are you doing? These are people that I guess follow baseball in some way, shape, or form. Here is everything that happened with Paul Skenes yesterday. A, he had a no-hitter, not a perfect game through 7. He was completely inefficient during the first 4 innings. He had thrown 74 pitches. I don't know if you know this, but the team does track things other than pitches. They track spin rate and velocity and all those things. And I know for a fact that they saw that his spin rate and velocity were going down, and that even the manager at GM said he was getting fatigued. Whatever. Okay. Say, even so, they should have let him get a no-hitter. Well, I'd say you're overvaluing no-hitters because if it was a perfect game, fine. No-hitters happen a few times a year. But anyway, that aside, if I'm the Pirates and I have this unicorn kid and there is all you hear about, from the very same people that kept Skenes in, said to keep Skenes in, all you hear about when Garrett Cole goes down, when the Braves when the Dodgers lose starting pitching. I heard 2 days ago from one of the same people talking about keeping Skenes in the game. There is an epidemic in pitching injuries, and the league needs to do an investigation into why all these pitchers are getting hurt. As if baseball people haven't been trying to figure out why pitchers have been getting hurt and what the ideal amount of pitches is. If I was the Pirates, I would not pitch that kid one more pitch than I thought was necessary. I could make a baseball reason for it. You're up against a divisional opponent. You're up 1-0, and he's losing velocity, and You have two relievers that you believe in. By the way, they won the game 1-0, so it worked. 2, F all of you, F Major League Baseball, F Rob Manfred. I got this kid under control. I won't be able to afford him when his contract's up, and I am not losing this guy for a year. He's pitching for me. And if that means, and I feel comfortable that he's at 99 pitches, and I heard some idiot, Robin Lundberg, go, what's the difference between 100 pitches and 134 pitches? A lot.
All right.
A lot. A lot's the difference.
Yes.
No.
Your arm can only do it so many times, especially when you throw that hard. That's the thing. The throwing motion is not, people say it's an unnatural motion. It's not. What's unnatural is the whip on your elbow when you're throwing 100 miles an hour. And you only get so many of those. Like, what's the difference between pitching every 5th day for 7 innings and pitching every 3rd day for 7 innings? An injury. And then they go like, oh, back in the day, God, people are dumb. Back in the day, guys would throw like a tremendous amount of innings. Okay, but outside of Nolan Ryan, no one threw 100. These guys, you don't understand, like these guys, the whip they're putting on their arms. If you track the spin rate of pitchers from the 50s and the velocity of pitchers from the 50s and the velocity of pitchers now, how many pitchers in the 50s do you think threw in the 90s? In the 90s. Like mid to high 90s. A handful.
10.
Now everyone pitches in the mid 90s to high 90s. It's a completely different thing. And then they go Nolan Ryan, and I would go, okay, Nolan Ryan, Cal Ripken. Like there are guys that can do stuff that just are lucky or built a certain way that can do things. I mean, there's guys that played 15 years in the NFL. What can I tell you? Like Nolan Ryan is a freak. But if you own that team and you didn't go get him out of there now, you are an idiot.
Well, okay, and Wallach, I know you have something, but I just want to counter one thing real quick, okay? And I'm playing devil's advocate because you mentioned the spin rate and the velocity, and they track all that stuff. I would argue, just as a baseball fan who wanted to see him go and get the no-hitter, well, that's all fine and good. How was his velocity and spin rate when he was getting knocked around in the first 3 innings?
He was, but okay, 2 things, I get it. And the first thing I'll say is I don't argue as a baseball fan being upset.
Yeah.
This is talking about the Pirates made a mistake. Yeah, as a baseball fan, you want him to pitch a no-hitter. That I get.
And he had just gotten through the 3-4-5 hitter when he had that 6-pitch 7th.
Okay, I will say this. The idea that his velocity and spin rate down made it easier to get out of innings quickly. Why? Because first pitch swings are getting into play. When he's throwing 101 miles an hour, guys are fouling a ton of balls off. They can't, when you first get into a game and a guy's throwing 101, it's very hard to turn on one of those balls. So he's having 8 pitch at bats because they're fouling stuff off. What the Pirates, I know, because they said, are trying to teach Skenes is to get out of innings quicker, to not try to strike everyone out, and to pitch to contact in the right zone, right? So if I know a guy's vulnerable low and outside, why not throw him something lower and outside that he can get the bat on if it gets you out of an inning quicker?
Right.
So my argument to that would be the precise reason he got out of those innings quicker is he's an excellent pitcher.
The best pitch is the right pitch, not necessarily the hardest or the spinniest.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes. Go ahead,
I
Johnny.
don't. My reasons for wanting Skenes to stay in the game have nothing to do with it's great for baseball. Wouldn't it be great if he faced Aaron Judge in the All-Star game? Selfishly, I wanted a great young pitcher to throw a no-hitter. And I also cannot stand the philosophy that, there's a certain pitch limit and the guy's out after that pitch limit. Didn't it cost Tampa Bay a World Series a few years ago?
That's
when they
different,
pulled Blake
John.
Snell in the 7th inning?
That's
when he
different.
was coasting along?
That's the World Series, and they weren't pitching him for health reasons. They were pitching him because they insisted on their bullpen.
But it's an overall philosophy. That's an example of it. But it's an overall philosophy.
But there's
a chart, and they do not vary from it. whether it's a no-hitter or not, all I'm saying is Skenes was at 99. He had just come off a 6-pitch inning. Who says he doesn't throw another 6-pitch inning? Then you're at 105, and you're entering the 9th.
Okay, so what if he pitches? Okay, so I'll say this. What if he comes in the 8th inning and he has a 20-pitch inning?
Or you see the pitch count come up and he gives a base runner.
No. He doesn't give a base runner. But he has a 20-pitch inning, and now he's sitting at 119 going into the 9th.
Then I'm fine with. Then I understand it. Then I'm fine with taking him out.
All right, but chances.
But then you're 1 inning away from a no-hitter.
I understand that, but then
All right,
I can
John.
get the pitch count argument. Then I understand
John.
it.
Well, if you were the manager of that team, or the general manager of that team, and the owner of that team, and you had Paul Skenes,
Yep.
You're not taking any chances with him. And the more pitches he throws when he's fatigued, the more likely it is he's going to get injured. That's a fact. Now, do they know precisely when that's going to happen? Is it an exact science? No. We've been through this a million times with the Japanese. Now they're starting to come around.
Yeah,
and
Japan goes the other way. Japan, they throw every day, and they throw.
But you notice Darvish didn't do that. There's like guys coming out of Japan now that are saying no.
Yeah.
Again,
Darvish getting hurt a lot these days.
Part of the problem with pitching is that they don't know like what the exact pitch count is, but they know when guys get fatigued, they're more likely to get hurt. But also, when you throw really hard, you're much more likely to get hurt. Tommy John, your elbow, because of the torque you're putting on that ligament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if I was, look, as a fan, I get it and get being frustrated. As a fan, I absolutely, there's no argument. As a fan.
Yeah,
you hate it, right?
I hate it.
But that's not the argument that I'm making, is that I can understand hating it as a fan. You can't go all the arguments I heard about the Pirates doing it were in my mind really dumb.
Bad for that stuff. Is ridiculous. I don't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is that if I'm the Pirates, like the little bump I get, Skenes is great, and he's going to bring people into the ballpark whether he gets the no-hitter or not, and I'm not concerned so much about. I'm trying to get Skenes through this year. And then I'm trying to and I have a young pitching core, and I got a window, what do you think, 2 years maybe where I can win with this team after this year?
Before everyone's contract is
gone.
up and they
I mean, they're never going to be able to keep them.
Right.
So I'm not burning a year of Skenes while he rehabs from Tommy John
You
surgery.
have control of Skenes for 4 or 5 years, and then he wants a $300 million contract, and he's gone. Yes.
And I would much rather eat crap for 24 hours about pulling him out of a game healthy.
I understand that part.
Than go through a year of keeping him in a game so I could jerk around with possibly getting a no-hitter in a 1-0 game when my team's not going to make the playoffs in July than the alternative. I'm just saying that if I was the GM, I would double Freedom Rockets everyone. And the people around the team that I heard talk about it are like, yeah, guys. It was funny because they all were saying what I was thinking. They were like, what do you want them to do? Like, he's on a pitch count. That's not fair. Well, he is. And they, under no circumstances, are playing around with this kid. He's special. What happened to Strasburg? What happened to Pryor? Strasburg and Pryor threw really hard. They were phenoms. They were can't-miss kids, and they both blew their arms out. And they blew their arms out young.
Is it Kerry Wood or Pryor? Could be both.
Wood
and Pryor.
Well, Pryor more than Wood, but if Wood did it too, Pryor is like the real example of it, but Wood maybe too. Because Wood, I think, had a little longer career. But probably Wood and Pryor. But remember, like,
the Cubs had
Strasburg and Pryor were these, like, phenom kids and da-da-da-da-da, and they both threw their arms away. And no. If it was my kid was throwing it, if Milo, by some miracle, I'm not saying this is happening under any circumstances, but if Milo was in a game for the Pittsburgh Pirates his rookie year, and he was dealing, he had a sub-2 ERA, and he had, the world was his oyster, and his manager pulled them 7 innings into a no-hitter when he had 99 pitches, I'd be like, good for you. That I would do. I would say, you protect that kid. That's a golden arm. He doesn't need some dumb no-hitter.
Lefty. Golden.
Well,
I don't think he's ever thrown 101. Let's put it that way.
And he's going to be crafty. He's going to be one of those crafty guys.
I just don't. I don't think he'll throw 100.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I would add is that whatever the pitchers are doing, in Japan and whatever ideas they have when they come here, I would pay attention to, because the Japanese have a lot of good ideas right now with things that they're doing, not only in baseball, but with, let's just say, fertilization techniques and things that they're working on. And I think they've got some things that we should all pay attention to.
And they pixelate the man in the pornography.
Sure.
Yeah, that's technology deal. Just getting in the way, man. That's
John. I mean, sometimes some of us like to guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very good. That is my Paul Skenes take, which I will repeat next hour because I'm very passionate about it.
Okay.
Because I feel I know more than the people that talked about it on the national radio. It was really bugging me. And they were saying it in this, like, bossy way. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. Same guys. There's an epidemic of pitchers going down because when Garrett Cole gets hurt, they all crap them pants because one of their Yankees got hurt. What's going on? Why is everyone getting hurt? And then at the same breath, why are you pulling the guy? Well, they're pulling him so he doesn't get hurt. All right, very good. We'll be right back.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox shut out Oakland last night, 7-0 at Fenway Park. Tanner Houck's going to pitch in the All-Star game next week. He looked just as good as that last night. 6 shutout innings. He allowed 2 hits to pick up the win. Sox will wrap up their pre-All-Star break schedule with a 3-game series against Kansas City starting tonight. The Athletic is reporting that with the trade deadline coming up July 30th, Sox are looking for a veteran starting pitcher and a right-handed power bat. In NBA news, the league will announce the groupings for its 2nd annual in-season tournament. That tournament has been renamed the NBA Cup. And the day after firing manager Greg Berhalter, the U.S. men's soccer team has reportedly been turned down by former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp in the hopes of making him Berhalter's replacement. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by IBEW Local 103 and Nika Electrical Contractors. For over 50 years, they've been powering TD Garden, making sure it stays lit, safe, and ready for every game. Learn more at thepowerprofessionals.org. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
This is Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown turns the corner. Finger roll is up and good. Score to the foul.
Listen to home of the Boston Celtics, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Come on in to Total Wine & More. Prices much lower than a grocery store. Spirits, wine, beer for a whole lot less. Walking down the aisles makes you stop and say, yes. From mixing cocktails, a friendly get-together, or a brunch outdoors, Total Wine has everything you need and more. With the lowest prices and best selection for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
If you need tires, think Town Fair Tire. Thinking name brands? We have them all. Thinking price? We beat the competitors. Free services? We have those too. For the guaranteed
Wallach, have you heard this? And you're a Seinfeld fan, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
fan, not like I don't know all the episodes by heart.
Okay, all right. But you know what Jerry Seinfeld sounds like?
Yes.
We never did this, and this is something that we'll probably get to again like next week sometime. But just this alone, there's a guy on the internet who says, you know, this song sounds like this song. And you think this is new. Well, it's not. And then this one is a bit of a departure because he just says the guy from The Killers sounds a lot like Seinfeld right here.
If you're Jerry Seinfeld while that's playing, it's really brilliant.
Yep.
I mean, you might go like, oh, in my car it didn't, but I defy you to play that song, Mr. Brightside, and put a picture of Jerry Seinfeld up and not think of that for the rest of your life.
I wouldn't have.
You have to.
You had to
picture
put it in my
Seinfeld.
head first.
Yes.
But yes.
Well,
No,
that's
now
why
that I do. I'll never listen to it the same way.
Yeah, like most of the stuff the guy does is not that clever, but that I got to give the guy a lot of credit
There's
for.
a few of them that are good. We'll do it next week. We'll go through some of the stuff that he hasn't necessarily found because I don't know if there's any truly original ideas in there. But the ones that I don't like are the samples. It's like, well, yeah, no kidding, that song sounds like that song because they sampled it. Now, they may have changed the tempo of it, but that's like a legit sample in some of them.
Well, if you're changing the tempo of a sample, there's a guy that's got a YouTube channel, if you're into hip-hop, called Digging the Crates.
Yeah.
And he'll take a hip-hop album, and he breaks down the source material and, like, the samples and stuff. And, like, if you're slowing down samples and, like, adding beats and putting in bass lines from other stuff, I mean, that's a very difficult exercise. I don't know how that's even – you would insult someone for that. It's almost like it's still in form of art. It's like a collage. I mean, it's like using pieces of – it's like folk art. It's like using pieces of material to create your own art. Like, I would fight back against that, Artie. I'm with you.
All right, let's talk about the Red Sox last night. 7-0 winners over the Oakland Athletics. So they end up winning the series. They're done, right? That was a 3-game set.
Yes.
Yeah, they play Kansas City in a very important series.
Very important
tonight.
series. And Kansas City has back-to-back All-Stars pitching for them tonight and tomorrow night.
Masataka Yoshida.
High fly ball launched into right field deep. Butler's back. He is reaching for it. Can't get it. It's into the pen. It is gone. Yoshida with a big night. 4 RBIs. And the Red Sox with a 7-0 lead.
Thank you to Nesson for that. Do you go RBI or RBIs when you're talking
Well, now
plural?
I say RBI because you're considered a big jerk if you don't.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with either.
So Cora came out to the mound in the 6th to talk to Tanner Houck, and did he pull him like Skeen got pulled last night?
I know I still had more in the tank, and just super thankful for the opportunity to stay out there and get that last guy. A little dicey on the first 2 pitches there, but once again, battled back and made the pitches when I had to.
So he was happy with everything that went down last night. Were you happy?
Pretty decent outing. Too many walks, too many long counts.
Yeah, dummy.
I fell behind, but
yeah, you did.
Ultimately, battled back. Made the
why
pitches
don't
when I
you
needed
kiss
to.
yourself a little more? Ultimately, you battled back. Have a little humility. My God.
Tanner Houck is insufferable.
You insufferable fool. Ugh. Oh, nice 6 innings. Boo.
Listen to Cora mollycoddle this kid.
He was able to throw the slider and split for strikes.
Oh, was he?
The sinker was okay.
Was it?
By the way, he got pulled after 103 pitches after 6 innings. I mean, they pulled the kid from the game.
He's our guy.
Oh, is he?
He is their guy. He's their guy.
Yeah,
What
sure
if they
he
win
is.
the East? What if by some miracle they're only 5.5 games out? Now Baltimore is on a little bit of a skid.
Yeah, Baltimore and the Yankees are sliding back, and the Red Sox are coming on pretty strong.
If they have a good series against Kansas City, I'm telling you.
Hey, I didn't think they'd ever be in my wildest dreams as good as they are.
Well, no
now.
one did.
So I guess everything's in play. I mean, I keep waiting for everyone to fall back.
Because New York plays Baltimore this weekend.
I know.
So someone's losing.
I know. I keep waiting for the Red Sox to fall back to the level I think their talent's at, but they haven't yet. And according to Jim Bowden of The Athletic, Craig Breslow is shopping for a veteran starting pitcher and a right-handed power bat. And Sam Kennedy was on Nesson a couple of nights ago insisting that this ownership has a track record of investing in this team, which is not true. But he insists that if the trade is right, they will take on salary before the deadline. I'll believe it when I see it, but this season has been full of surprises so far.
Yeah, they're adding something. I
hope you're right.
I mean, it doesn't make sense not to.
I agree.
I think it would make them money. I think it would make them money to add.
This argument is solid, and it makes all the sense in the world to invest in these kids that are playing their hearts out, but I don't trust this ownership at all at this point.
The pitcher for Kansas City tonight is an all-star?
Raggins, yes.
I picked him up off the street on my fantasy team.
Raggins and Lugo, the kid who pitches tomorrow night, both are a member of the American League staff.
Raggins isn't having that great a year statistically. I guess he's got a lot of strikeouts. Huh. I picked him up just because he was an available pitcher, like in fantasy. Mm-hmm. That wasn't even any insight by me. Go ahead.
Fred, you've been paying attention to your New York Football Jets there. Aaron Rodgers talking and showing up at places. That we saw the video of the fan who really wants the Super Bowl, and he's like, yeah, there's one Super Bowl, and there's some moments he's interacting. He's getting back in touch with the fan base, and now he's talking about who he wants to play with and who he's excited to play with.
Do you think Luke Getsy's going to utilize Devontae Adams good in the new Raiders offense?
I love Luke Getsy. He's a fantastic coach.
Awesome.
And I love Devontae. I can't wait to play with him again.
Yeah, the Jets got Mike Williams and Garrett Wilson. They might as well go and give up a lot of stuff for Devontae Adams and pay him. Aaron should not play until they do it.
Where did he end up being? So he missed the mandatory mini camp? Is he in India or Australia?
According to Robert Saleh, an event he really wanted to go to.
Yeah, that's right.
Saleh was not happy about that in that press conference. I don't know. It might have come out, but I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. Something.
It was a pre-planned trip to Egypt.
Oh. Of course.
So he could speculate on what aliens built the pyramid, which I find a lot more plausible than some of his beliefs.
Soul searching.
What are you going to blame Aaron Rodgers? It's not like they plan the dates of minicamp in advance. Those guys find out sometimes just hours beforehand that they have to be there.
We need you here now.
Yeah. So you planned this trip weeks ago.
But I'd also say, as much as Aaron Rodgers is annoying, I mean, how many people, don't go to minicamp? I mean, how many guys from the Patriots didn't go to minicamp? I mean, I don't think it's like the world's biggest. I don't think Aaron Rodgers. Let's put it this way: it's not the greatest. I don't think his season hinges on his 2 days of minicamp.
Okay, it's minicamp. All right, but this is a guy who played 4 snaps.
Oh, I agree. It's not ideal. I also just don't think it's the world's biggest deal. But given his history and given what he talks about and how he said all the BS has got to stop and everyone's got to show up, yes, he is a hypocritical douche.
Yeah.
He's a douche.
Okay. But the Jets sold their soul. They're willing to put up with whatever it is that Aaron Rodgers does.
Yeah. So they can squeak into the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
That's
So they are going to be a playoff team this year.
Oh, man, I got to think. I even think if he gets hurt, they got to be a playoff team this year.
Who's the backup there now?
The good kid, the guy from he was on New York last year.
The Giants?
Not DeVito, the guy who got hurt, so DeVito played. African American guy.
Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod Taylor.
There you go. Well,
I think Tyrod Taylor is actually
that
capable.
guy can actually play if he's healthy.
Was he in Buffalo for a while?
Yes.
He was decent.
And he was with the Chargers, but he was the reason Herbert played.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor is their backup. So there you go. All right.
So Fred, I could tell you what happened at the ESPYs last night, but there's so much. It's the pomp, it's the pageantry, it's the awards, it's the speeches. It deserves more than just a, hey, here's what happened last night at the ESPYs. Oh, no. We need to give it its
cool.
We need to – the people who got their flowers now need more flowers.
And also –
more flowers to be given.
And finally, the ladies are getting their due, and it's not patronizing at all. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports.
By Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Now open in Franklin, Billerica, and Peabody.
From the Town Fair Tire Studio, the Celtics, the Patriots, the Bruins, and the Revolution play here. WBZ-FM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
The Red Sox beat Oakland last night 7-0 at Fenway Park to take 2 out of 3 from the Athletics. Alex Cora saw Masataka Yoshida finally break out and lead the offense with a 2-run homer and 4 RBIs.
Just the hitter that we envisioned, not trying to hit the ball in the air, just trying to hit it hard. When you do that, good things happen. This guy, he's done it before in Japan last year. Obviously, when healthy, he was one of the best hitters that we had.
The Sox have closed down the pre-All-Star break portion of their schedule with a 3-game home series against Kansas City starting this evening. The Royals are 1 game behind the Red Sox for the 3rd and final wild card in the American League. The Athletic is reporting that with the trade deadline coming up at the end of this month, Craig Breslow has been looking for a starting veteran starting pitcher and a right-handed power bat. The Celtics' Jaylen Brown was honored at the ESPYs last night with the award for Best Championship Performance. Former Patriots head coach Bill Belichick has a new TV job. He'll join Inside the NFL for this coming season. The Tennessee Titans have signed former Jets and Seattle safety Jamal Adams. And today has been semifinal day at Wimbledon. Carlos Alcaraz opposes the 8th-seeded Daniil Medvedev first, and then it's Novak Djokovic against Lorenzo Musetti of Italy. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Eastern Massachusetts' leader in drain cleaning and pipelining. Drains by James. Slow drain, clogged drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Here we go. Boom. I win. Kaboom. Yeah. Hit somebody.
We've got a passion for Boston sports.
Get angry.
98.5 The Sports Hub. Now, more Toucher and Hardy.
Thank you for noticing. We are Toucher and Hardy, and Dan, God bless him, noticed that someone got a haircut.
I mentioned it first thing when you walked in this morning. You ignored me.
Yeah,
you gave me the hi-hat.
Yeah, it was on purpose. I was just like, oh, Hardy again.
You said to him, look at you. You get your haircut. You look very nice.
I was just like, oh, Hardy already. I'm already with the sarcasm. It's too early because I come in here and I get flowers.
Well, it was not just the haircut. It was the beard trim.
Yeah. You know why I trimmed my beard? Because I was trying to get some trim. All right. We are Toucher and Hardy, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. Watch us on YouTube, and you can see my beautiful, beautiful put-together look today. And also you can 617-779-0985. The ESPYs were last night. I did not know that until this morning. In fairness, I have never watched the ESPYs. I have only seen the Norm Macdonald brilliant monologue he did at the ESPYs decades ago that, of course, got him banned. Because why? It was actually funny, and and what made it even funnier was the stone cold reactions of the pampered, narcissistic athletes in the crowd that did not like even being mentioned by Norm Macdonald. But you can hear that on your own time. It's available anywhere videos are on the internet. But last night, Hardy, one of the Williams sisters hosted it. I heard this morning.
Apparently, both of them. And, you know, there's some good-natured ribbing going on between the siblings because they were not only sisters, but they were rivals. You know, they competed against each other.
And they were from Compton, and they had a father that ended up slapping Chris Rock.
I had not. Kind of. Yeah, that's close enough.
Oh, sure. I blame him.
Yeah.
He's part of the problem.
And we know that Serena is not only the greatest female tennis player of all time, just one of the greatest tennis players of all time, but also a fashionista. So 16 wardrobe changes throughout the night.
Hey-o.
For Serena Williams.
That's
So,
fun.
It really is. Just coming out, I'm going to go change again. And there were laughs.
She is like a fun diva. She has fun.
I agree.
You know what, Jim Rome, not me. You know what Jim Rome used to call her?
What's that?
Predator. What is up with the Predator bopping around town? What is up with the outfit changes on Predator? The ESPYs in full effect last night. Everyone getting their flowers. What is up with finally Biles getting an award?
Getting some recognition
just 4 years after she tapped out because she was scared of the Olympics. It was very brave.
I can't wait for that. I'm very much looking forward to all the Simone Biles conversation because remember, we're all supposed to salute her, and she was already a champion when she tapped out because she had the twisties. And I got taken to task for saying, look, I have no problem with her tapping out, but I don't feel the need to commend her or celebrate the fact that she wouldn't compete because that's not what you do when people are injured. If you wanted to treat it as an injury, as I think we all did, it's like, okay, she can't go. She can't get up there. She can't twist around. She's got some, imbalance, whatever. There's something happening. She can't go safely do it. Well, she needs to be applauded and she needs to be held up on high. And she's already won just for doing this. No. If somebody hurts their ankle and they can't play in the championship game, you don't say they're already a champion and praise them for sitting out because they're hurt.
It was almost like people overcorrected before anything happened. Like, Simone Biles has every right to pull herself out of the Olympics. That's fine.
Yes.
Like, I don't begrudge her. It's her life, and apparently what she does is quite dangerous. And fine, But also, if you prepare your whole life for one particular event and then you get too scared to do it.
That's what I said all along.
That's not like a great message to tell everyone how wonderful that is. Like, what if everything you had to do that you prepared for, everything you do in life that's important that you prepared for, you're going to be anxious about?
Yes, and you can't have it both ways. You can't have every aspect and every mechanism of the NBC Comcast Universal machine telling you for days, weeks, months leading up to the Olympics that all these athletes do is sacrifice and prepare and push their bodies and minds and spirits to the limit and overcome fear. And then when one of those athletes says, I can't take it anymore, say, you're a champion. Good for you. That's what the Olympics are all about. No. You've been telling me this whole time it's about the opposite of that. It's about pushing through all these things and somehow overcoming these adversities. So which is it? Is she the warrior that, that defies, basic self-preservation and fear and goes against all that? Or is she the one that says, oh, no, this is absolutely ludicrous. I've got the twisties right now. I can't go. And you celebrate. But so no matter what she does, we celebrate.
Yeah, that's
okay. Well, that's fun.
It was like if someone was making fun of her, I could see going like, look, it was her decision and she didn't feel comfortable doing it. It's very dangerous and she didn't want to do it. That's one thing. But it's another thing to go, wow, what a hero. Because
right.
It's like, that's just not true.
No, you don't call Aaron Rodgers a hero because he got hurt on the fourth play of the season. Nobody calls you a hero when you've got a bad shoulder or you have a concussion.
Well, what if a driver was going into some F1 race that everyone was very interested in? And
Max Verstappen. There
sure.
you go.
Okay, he's the best, right? So like he gets it. So like it's the big one. It's for all the marbles. And he goes, you know what? Like I'm afraid, and I'm not getting in the car today. You would go, okay, that sucks. All right, that sucks for you. Like okay, but you wouldn't go like, wow, what a brave guy. Like he wouldn't get in that car. Like no, like you don't. it doesn't make him a bad person, but it also doesn't make him a hero.
Correct.
And it's also not a good message to young athletes that, any time that you feel like things might be a little off, you're like, you bag out. Okay, here's another example. Tom Brady. It's the team. It might have been worked out better this way, but the team 16-0. They're going into the 16-0 regular season. They're going to the Super Bowl against the Giants, and he goes like, "I'll tell you, they got Strahan, and he's a big fella." And he's like, "You know what? I
mean,
and which is just not true, but in mean, and he might hurt me. I ain't playing today." And then you go, I have a feeling that the people of Boston wouldn't have been like. And I have a feeling if Simone...
then he's already won.
And I also have a feeling if Simone Biles was a man, I think people ran to her white knight for her a little bit quicker. Again, it's up to her, and I won't make fun of her for it. The only thing that I call out, which I think Hardy's doing the same thing and did it first, is this idea that she was somehow brave for doing it. Like, no.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with Simone Biles. It's the reaction and the narrative that they tried to put on it afterward. It's those people. I have no issue
she chickened out of the thing, which is her, and I've chickened out of stuff too, like we all have, and I just don't know if that's like the greatest thing in the world. It's also her business.
That's also the trigger word. People say no. It's a mental thing.
Yes, which is chickening out. That's a mental thing. I've done it. I've been afraid to get on things. We were at a water park the other day, and someone I was with was afraid to get on a thing. They chickened out. Now, I didn't make fun of him for chickening out, but
you didn't call him a hero for sitting out either.
Yeah, I didn't. I just said it's not a big deal. Go ahead, you can go down. Like, don't feel bad about it. Is exactly what I said. And if I was Simone Biles' teacher, if I was Simone Biles' trainer, I'd be like, "Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you sure?" I'd really, and I'd take her through like how hard you've worked, and are you really sure? And if ultimately she said, I'm not going to do it. I don't feel comfortable. I'd be like, all right, fine. I'm not going to begrudge you that. But then I wouldn't go afterwards, and I wouldn't make fun of her, and I wouldn't call her out. But I also wouldn't go like, wow, I'm really proud of her for pulling herself out of it, because I wouldn't be proud of her. Like, I wouldn't be proud of her, but I also wouldn't begrudge her it. It's her business. It's not my business.
It also kind of like flies in the face of like, well, how bad was this twisties thing? It's like, oh, it's this, debilitating mental state where you can't do it. And like, wow, she must be in rough shape. I hope she's okay. So because of that, I also didn't think it was the greatest look for her to then be like on the floor for the rest of team competition a couple days later, like laughing and cheering on. It's like, yeah, you go get him. You go win it. Like,
yeah, I don't really know.
Aren't you like huddled up in a room somewhere, like shivering because you're too distraught with what happened? Oh no, you appear to be fine.
Maybe she felt like she needed to be there for her team. I don't know. Yeah,
that's probably a no-win situation.
Yeah, that's like a no-win situation for her. Like, I mean, I don't think she had a complete mental breakdown. Like, I don't know. I don't flip myself off of stuff. Like, I could see how it'd be scary, but it's also what she does. So, like, because I could see another argument going like, Fred, you'd never do that. Well, like, no, but also I haven't trained my whole life to be in the Olympics, and then right before what I trained for was happening, bagged out of it. So, like, that's the thing.
Yes. Just before we get into all of these, any guesses on who got best comeback athlete of the year? Big hint, we were just talking about it. Simone Biles. Best comeback athlete.
What did
Simone
she do?
Biles. Well, she's going to be in the Olympics.
No, she hasn't officially come back. That's the thing. She hasn't come back at all yet. Not really.
That's incredibly patronizing.
I thought she had like retired though. I thought she was done.
No. I know she hadn't retired. No. That I know. She had not retired, but she's
physically participating again, but she hasn't won anything. She hasn't come all the way back.
She's won. Yeah, but you see, that's where you're wrong, Wally. She's won already.
I see.
Just for participating.
It's almost as if people are knocking each other over to be on the right side of this.
Well,
thing.
I think that there was a mandate to give it to a certain amount of women. I do think that's the case.
All right.
I absolutely do, because Simone Biles shouldn't have won anything. She hasn't done anything.
Well, the Williams sisters have done plenty, and one of the things they did last night was they called out a certain someone while they were on stage.
So go ahead and enjoy women's sport like you would any other sports because they are sports. Yes. Except you, Harrison Butker. We don't need you. At all. Like ever.
Who's that?
Harrison Butker is the
He's
guy, the kicker
Kansas
for the
City
Chiefs.
kicker who said, basically women should be celebrated.
Oh,
because
Williams sisters.
Yeah.
How outrageous. They went after that guy. They went after that guy.
Nobody seems to like.
Who no one supported. Is there no sacred cows, Williams sisters? The guy that said women shouldn't work or whatever the hell he said.
They should be celebrated because my wife is a housewife or something along those lines.
I think he said something along the lines of barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
if you got a problem with that, maybe that's your problem.
I could see being a woman and saying, why are you the authority on this? There's a lot of things that would bother me if I was a woman. Like what's going on in Idaho. Go ahead.
Best MLB player ESPY award went to?
Oh, shocking. I bet you $10 at Shohei Ohtani.
There you go. Best NFL player?
Think of the most obvious answer, Fred.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes? What an exciting event.
I know.
Best driver?
Max Verstappen?
Yeah! This show, I can't believe I missed this last night.
I got it.
Here's one that might make
The president? Biden? The guy who runs Amazon, the guy who started Amazon is Jeff Bezos.
Ding.
We're on the planet Earth.
Best online delivery company CEO. Bezos. How about this? Best NBA player.
Ooh.
Who won the ESPY for best NBA player?
Well, let's see.
Not Embiid. Was it? Oh, did they give it to? Did they give it to?
All right, let's say Doncic.
Not Doncic. Did they give it to the Nuggets guy, Jokic?
John Wallach. Luka Doncic.
Hey.
Yes,
Right.
very good, John Wallach.
Okay, all right.
Jaylen Brown did win an award having to do with the championship, best championship performance.
Now who needs him on that USA Basketball? Take that, USA Basketball.
Yeah. So maybe we should take a moment. We'll listen to what Jaylen Brown had to say. And there's a lot of conversation lately about Jaylen Brown and things going on with him. But we can continue with the ESPYs and talk about all of it.
All right. We will have that for you coming right up. Toucher and Hardy. Did you want to go back to the ESPYs or you want to go into the Tatum thing? It's up to you.
ESPYs.
All right, so last night we were ESPN's award, the ESPYs, and when they weren't honoring Simone Biles, they were honoring the best football player, Patrick Mahomes, the best baseball player, Shohei Ohtani, the best driver,
Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen.
That's the only one I know.
This one might throw you.
Well, that's why he won.
Best college athlete, women's sports.
Caitlin Clark.
No, I don't think.
Damn it! I thought I was going to trip you up on that one.
Well, there's a young pole vaulter from University of New Mexico that's got something to say about that.
Damn it.
I would like more national people to talk about Caitlin Clark.
How about this? Best record-breaking performance. Were there any records broken in sports this past year? I'll give you a hint. We were just talking about her. Everybody stopped for 5 minutes and watched a sport that they never watched to see her break it on the free throw line.
Caitlin Clark.
Yes. That's right. After
I already forgot.
PS foul.
I know, that's the thing. It didn't immediately come to me either.
This is
That's
all
how good it was.
This is all very forced.
Okay. I already told you Jaylen Brown won the award for the best championship performance. His acceptance speech.
And the ESPY goes to
Jaylen Brown.
Thank you to ESPN. Thank you to my teammates, my organization, my beautiful mother who's mad at me. But God is the greatest of all time.
That was good.
Yeah.
I'm
God
sorry.
the greatest?
I'm sorry I missed this. Damn it. And Lockhart even told me last night, he's like, hey, the ESPYs are on. I'm like, oh, I was getting ready to go to bed. I'm like, oh, my God. How do you miss these things?
Is God really the greatest?
Yeah, he did say, apparently the ESPYs are on, question mark. Prince Harry was awarded something last night.
Oh, that was Pat Tillman.
Red as pubes.
That's the Pat Tillman Award.
So how dare you? He's a war hero that they lied about how he died.
I'm sorry. No offense intended.
Did you read the book about Tillman that the dude from Up in the Air wrote, right, Hardy?
Into Thin Air. Yes, Up in the Air.
Up in the Air is the movie.
John Krakauer's book, Where Men Win Glory.
Yes, did you read that?
Excellent.
Yeah, so the Tillman thing seemed kind of strange, the way that they were positioning how he died. Now, there's no doubt Tillman is a patriot and someone who wanted to be in the military and didn't have to do it. This is not besmirching Pat Tillman in any way. I feel very important to say that. I'm not doing that at all. I'm besmirching the government and the press, is because when Tillman died, it was weird. Like, they made it sound like it was this, like, super heroic thing, and it kind of seemed like what's going on, and it did raise my BS meter a lot, but obviously I didn't think about it that much. So it turns out, though, long story short, that the government lied and that he was killed in friendly fire, and they concocted this, like, really weird heroic story about him because obviously they didn't want the publicity of someone who was that much of a patriot and that famous, telling people, hey, in a volunteer army, this guy got shot by friendly fire. So they made it all up. And it just is a little concerning that happens. Because because then you go, well, what else did you make up?
Well, and that was the whole thing. They didn't want to open up that can of worms because if you read that book, Tillman had all kinds of second thoughts after he signed up, because he said, this isn't what I thought it was going to be like. And this is, some of the people that I'm working for and some of the people in charge, he had serious questions about their abilities. But to his credit, they gave him the chance to get out. They're like, dude, all right, you've proved your point. You went and served, and now you can come home if you want to. And he said, no, I'm not going to stop this early. I'm going to continue with this. And he paid the ultimate price, and then, yes, they lied about it afterwards. So Some people were upset that Prince Harry was getting this award. They didn't think that he was the best recipient for it. They said there's some other people who are unknown, and their stories deserve to be told. And it's the service award. So Prince Harry was asked. This is his chance to kind of I don't know, maybe defend the selection and what it asked, and what it means to him to win this Pat Tillman Award for service.
Congratulations, Harry. What does this mean to you?
It's great. Yeah. It's fantastic for Invictus as well.
What? It's fantastic.
I had nothing else to do, so I could show up. And they said, well, we get royalty to show up, or quasi-royalty to show up. So
this is great.
We'll give them whatever. They said they give me whatever I wanted. I said, I wanted an award about being a hero. They said, will you show up because you're famous? And I said, yes. And they said, what do you want? I go, a hero award. I said, I want best football player. No, I want best baseball player. No, I want a hero award.
I want a hero, isn't it?
Isn't a hero award.
Isn't it?
He's like Liam Gallagher in 1990. It's a hero, isn't it?
I did give an acceptance speech.
The truth is, I stand here not as Prince Harry Pat Tillman Award recipient, but rather
a guy with
voice.
frostbite on my penis. If you read the book.
Whose book? His book?
Yeah, he got frostbite on his penis.
Did you read his book?
No, but I just know the excerpt. I read the excerpt.
I went into the bookstore and I furiously leafed through the pages until I found the word penis.
Well, someone read it and did that very thing, and then he got frostbite on his penis when he was in the British Army. Oof. And he's like, "Oh, my giblets were a little cold," and then James Corden went, "Oh no."
My penis was oscillating between extremely sensitive and borderline traumatized.
That's his audiobook, but that's not a joke.
Yep.
Thank you, Michael. All right, here we go.
An award recipient, but rather a voice on behalf of the Invictus Games Foundation and the thousands of veterans and service personnel from over 20 nations who have made the Invictus Games a reality. This award belongs to them.
All right, so
does it? Are you going to chop it up into a bunch of pieces and hand it to every one of them? Or are you going to take that home and put it on the shelf next to all the other stuff your dad's sperm gave you?
All right, Fred.
I down with the monarchy, man.
Best Arthur Ashe Award for Courage went to Steve Gleason.
Mm-hmm. Steve Gleason did an interview with Eddie Vedder that made Eddie Vedder cry. It was quite powerful, actually, to see Steve Gleason. He asked him to talk about his dad, and then Eddie Vedder, I guess, had an absentee dad, and Vedder started talking about it. And I suppose because Steve Gleason, his situation is bravery, like you get maybe if I ask him it, he would be like, go screw. But like when Gleason asked it, he was like into it. I found it very powerful. No sarcasm.
Yes.
Gleason, very brave.
Muhammad Ali's Sports Humanitarian Award went to
another draft dodger.
Won't see him getting the Pat Tillman Award.
Correct.
Yeah, wait, what if he got the Muhammad Ali Pat Tillman Award?
Everybody sit on that for a few minutes.
Yeah, now all of a sudden you're Muslim, huh?
No,
Cassius.
The Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award went to the Maui surfing community.
For what exactly?
They probably did something ecologically.
No, I think it was for providing support in the Maui community after the
fires.
The fires there.
Okay,
there you go.
All right, so that was an important award to be given out. And best team. See if you boys can guess what team won the best team award. And it's not one of our obvious ones.
Is it the team that beat Caitlin Clark's team?
I think.
South Carolina?
Yes, South Carolina.
I knew it.
Wow. How did you know
Freddie
that?
T?
How did you know that?
What did I tell you? I said that there must have been a mandate on how many women had to win awards. They're forcing a lot of this stuff outside of Caitlin Clark, and that's how I did it. I swear to God, I didn't know that happened. But I could figure it out, and I didn't even remember who beat Caitlin Clark's team, but that's exactly what the modus operandi was for last night. We're going to have Serena and Venus, who are great athletes. legitimate great athletes. And women's tennis, by the way, is a lot of times better than men's tennis.
I find it to be more enjoyable. The volleys tend to last a little bit longer.
Exactly. It's not just, one serve and then out. But and so I'm not taking anything away from them or women athletes in general, but it's just, if I was a woman, I believe I would even be like, all right, guys, like,
this feels a little patronizing.
Let's have this happen a little more organically.
Yeah, right. So there you go. Those are your ESPYs from last night.
All right. Yesterday, I want to get back to it. It'll be the last time I talk about it. But as you know, because I complain about it all the time. Among the other things I complain about is my time spent in the car, and I hear a lot of broadcasters from around the country talking about things. Paul Skenes, the phenom pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates, was pulled out of a no-hitter, not a perfect game. He was pulled. He had one walk. But he was pulled after 7 innings out of a no-hitter yesterday, and people went ballistic, and they were all wrong. And not even if their opinion was necessarily wrong, they were ignorant about what was going on. And I will explain that to you as simply as I can.
Because you are right.
Because I am right. No, I am right about why they pulled him out. I'm not saying I'm right that maybe you have a right to be pissed, but I'm just telling you that the reasons I heard yesterday from the people on the radio were wrong. They were wrong about it. We'll be right back.
Sports Hub headlines.
Tanner Houck's going to the All-Star game for the Red Sox next week, and he looked just like an All-Star last night. 6 shutout innings. He allowed 2 hits, and the Red Sox beat Oakland at Fenway Park 7-0. They take 2 of 3 from the Athletics. They got a pretty big 3-game series against Kansas City starting at Fenway tonight. They lead Kansas City by 1 game for the final playoff spot in the American League. In NBA news, the Celtics' Jaylen Brown won an ESPY award last night for Best Championship Performance. Former Patriots head coach Bill Belichick has a new TV job. He'll join the Inside the NFL crew for the coming season. And today is men's semifinal day at Wimbledon. Carlos Alcaraz opposes Daniil Medvedev first, and then it's Novak Djokovic against Lorenzo Musetti of Italy in London later on. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Now open in Weymouth, Canton, Bedford, and my town of Natick. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
No matter where you go, you're always connected to Boston sports with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app. Download it wherever you get your apps today.
Hey, it's Felger here, and summer is on the horizon. If your home or business is in need of a roof, it's time to contact our friends at East Coast Metal Roofing during their Beat the Heat summer sales event. Get this, you'll never have to replace your roof again. Their roofs have a lifetime warranty, they never rust, and can be installed on any style of home. Never replace your roof again. Schedule a free quote right now at eastcoastmetalroofing.com. Mention us, 98.5 The Sports Hub or Felger and Maz, and you'll get 10% off the entire job. East Coast Metal Roofing, your lifetime roofing solution.
Roto-Rooter. Plumbing problem? Leaks are no match for DIY duct tape. And the wrench. And the towel, more duct tape, a hammer, this random tube I found in the basement, another bucket, more tape, a little more tape. Perfect. Maybe leave plumbing to the pros at Roto-Rooter. Roto-Rooter.
If you need guidance on paying for college, MIFA can help. Whether you're trying to decide how much of your savings to use, thinking about a college payment plan, or considering different college loans, we're available to talk you through your options and help you make a decision that's best for you and your family. Our college planning experts are ready to speak with you. Call us at 800-449-MIFA or 800-449-6332. Visit us online at mefa.org.
Here in New England, we like goats, not the animals. I'm talking the greatest of all time. They're everywhere in New England, from Foxborough to...
More with FanDuel. Poor me, I'm in the car a lot, and hopefully when you're in the car, you're locked into 98.5 The Sports Hub between the hours of 6 to 10. Because Lord knows you're locked into the Joe Murray experience. My goodness.
People love him.
I'm a big fan of the Joe Murray games.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if we know that. Is that what Joe said?
No, that's looking at the numbers.
Joe's not on when there are games.
I guess what I'm saying is Joe is on a before and after. He gets higher ratings than Celtics and Bruins games on this radio station. I guess. What I'm trying to say.
Yeah, during the regular season, perhaps. Yes. All right, so here's the deal: is that Paul Skenes is dating a woman that my dad is very fond of. Again, out of the blue, he mentioned his gymnast girlfriend at the dinner table. I've never heard him refer to a woman at all.
He's never, like, back in the day, like, oh, that Farrah Fawcett, she had some gams.
Nope. Never, ever heard him refer to a woman as attractive, ever. He never, ever, ever. I saw him kiss my mom on the lips once. He never had a Playboy or porn. There was never anything. I never heard my parents say anything, like even a religious joke or a race joke. I've never heard them say anything remotely interesting. There was no porn, no body jokes. There was nothing. There was very little in my house.
Does your father laugh?
No.
It sounded like the Costanzas. I remember George saying once that he's never heard his mother laugh. She has never laughed. I started thinking about the episode. So it's like, oh, I don't think Estelle ever laughs on that show.
Well, my favorite thing to do is now that the kids are older and we're at the dinner table with my parents to say like outrageous things to get my mom all like, my mom like, Freddie. Oh, God. Oh, God. Because like if the kids swear, my mom's like, oh, my God. You're such a bad parent. So anyway, so Paul Skenes, who's dating the woman that my dad feverishly lusts after. He is a big shot. He's got a sub-2 ERA, 6-0. And yesterday, he had a no-hitter going through 7, and he was pulled. All right. So let me just give you some background. So that was a day game. So I'm in the car after this happens. And unilaterally, across all the sports platforms, because I'll get on and I'll listen to guys in other markets and stuff, unilaterally, everyone was outraged that they had pulled him from the game. Not because they would have liked to see him in the game, because they say the Pirates really screwed up. And here's what they said is, I'll give you all the things they said, and then I'll tell you why they're all idiots. Is that they said, well, for baseball, like why can't baseball get out of its own way? If baseball, can you imagine if Paul Skenes threw this no-hitter and baseball would have had him start this? He's going to start the All-Star game, but because Sale's going on Sunday, so Sale can't even pitch on Tuesday. So Skenes is going to pitch the All-Star game. So, what if he started? Then you could see him against Aaron Judge, and what, like, the Pittsburgh Pirates had a chance to develop a star. And why did the Pittsburgh Pirates do that? And, you know, I remember back in my day, pitchers would throw 120 pitches in a game, and Nolan Ryan never got tired. All those things are dumb. Here is why. If you as a fan wanted to see him finish the game, of course you did. That's great. That's you as a fan. If I am the Pirates, first of all, I am monitoring his velocity. First of all, he's inefficient. He threw 74 pitches through the first 4 innings. He got more efficient as the game went on, but there's a reason for that, and I'll tell you why. They monitor this kid's his spin rate, his velocity. On every pitch, they're monitoring it. They saw and came out and have told people that his velocity was down and his spin rate was down and that he was getting fatigued. So, why did he have a quick inning then, Fred? Why did he have a quick 7th inning? But precisely for that reason. Because when he's throwing in the hundreds, guys are fouling everything off. There's 8 pitch at bats. That's what's happening with him. It's a fact. That's what's going on. So, They have that data, but still, he's got a chance at a no-hitter. Well, then I would say, big deal. Jabronis throw no-hitters all the time. If it was a perfect game, I might put all this on hold. If it's a perfect game, I would be hesitant to pull him. If I'm the Pirates, under no circumstances am I screwing with this kid at all. The same people that said back in my day, I heard Robin Lundberg go, what's the difference between 100 pitches and 130 pitches?
Right.
A ton.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, it was I'm like, whoa.
Of all the arguments you could make, that might be the worst one.
Well,
He's an
how
idiot.
about 30 pitches when you're tired?
How about 30% more?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and when you're fatigued, like, I will grant you there is no number of pitches that is scientifically proven to be the amount. So they're guessing. And they've done a million studies about it. And there is no precise thing. Okay? But if someone's getting fatigued, they're more likely to get hurt. The thing is this, is that if I am the Pirates, I'm saying I got this kid under control because I'm never going to be able to resign him. So I have this kid under control. I am not losing him for a year in any circumstances. I don't care if he throws a no-hitter in July at all. I want him pitching for me for the next 5-6 years. And I'm not getting him hurt. The reason people could pitch longer if they did back in the day is they didn't throw 100. The throwing motion, a lot of people go, the throwing motion is unnatural motion. That's untrue. The throwing motion is not an unnatural motion. The velocity that their arm moves is what's unnatural, and it's unnatural to the joint that is on the inside of your elbow. That is why all these guys are getting Tommy John surgery, and the same guys that yesterday were saying, why the Pirates pull Paul Skenes? Why the Pirates pull Paul Skenes? Some of the exact same people, the very day before, we're saying there's an epidemic in Major League Baseball with pitching, and all these pitchers are getting hurt. And look at what's happening with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers have lost all this pitching, and Garrett Cole got hurt, and look at all these pitchers can't stay healthy. What's going on? So on one hand, you say there's an epidemic of pitchers getting hurt, and on the other hand, you say, why'd they pull Paul Skenes? Well, they pulled Paul Skenes so he won't get hurt. And if I was Paul Skenes' dad, and I was in the stands because Paul Skenes is probably a competitor, and we played the audio. He didn't want to come out. If I'm Paul Skenes' dad, I'm like, thank you for taking him out of the game. I want you to take him out of the game. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want him getting Tommy John surgery. I want him out of the game. Go ahead, John.
As a baseball fan, I don't care about, Major League Baseball, boy, they missed a chance. Wouldn't it be cool if he threw a no-hitter heading into the All-Star game? And I agree with you. He's probably going to start for the National League. It's on his day to pitch. It's too much of a coincidence. He's going to start for the National League on Tuesday night. But I wanted to see a young pitcher throwing bullets. By the way, he had allowed one base runner through 7 innings, only at 99 pitches.
But he was very inefficient.
He was coming off a 6-pitch inning in the 7th.
But I told you why he was. But go ahead.
But who's to say he can't have another 5 or 6 pitch inning in the 8th?
But we went through this. If he has another 5 or 6 pitch inning in the 8th, fine. But what if he has a 20 pitch inning?
If he has a 20 pitch inning, then I have no trouble with them taking him out.
But
there's a limit. 110 is different. 110 or 115 is different than 99 or 105.
Okay, fine. But the idea that 110 is different. The idea that he's going to get through 2 more innings with 11 pitches isn't going to happen.
I just want, in a situation like that, and it's more overriding. A lot of Major League Baseball teams operate from a chart. It has to be 95 or 100 pitches, and then we have to take them out regardless. It's more of an overall feeling that I hate. Major League Baseball has segued from a field thing to a chart thing.
I understand.
And that's what I can't stand.
And that's very valid, and I understand it as a fan, but you have to understand that if you were the Pirates, you would have done the exact same thing. You would have done the same thing. If it was your asset, you would have done the same thing.
Probably. Probably
TJ
right.
was going to tell me that I was wrong.
I hate it. I hate it.
And you have every right to hate it. But the reasons that people were giving
those arguments are crap. I agree with you. Those arguments
your
are crap,
opinion of not liking it is is very valid. And who am I to tell you not to feel that way? My problem was with this up in arms about how dumb the Pirates were to take him out of the game. By the way, the pitcher for Boston last night, they pulled. they pulled with 104 pitches or something.
Through six.
I mean, yeah, these guys get pulled after in these situations. I don't care if I'm the Pirates about him getting a no-hitter. I don't care. And it's my asset, not him, my asset. And everything I said is true. They tracked him. His velocity was down. His spin rate was down. That's a fact. Oh, by the way, they also are trying to teach the kid to be more efficient. In what I just told you is they're like, look, you have this incredible stuff. You can blow everyone away, but you could make it through games. I guess they've been really, like, if you nitpick him, they've been really trying to drive this home. They've been saying to him, like, look, man, if you want to go further into games, you got to learn how to, like, pitch to contact sometimes because you're striking everyone out and your stuff's phenomenal, but major league pitchers are not going to swing and miss at all your fastballs. They're going to foul them off because you throw so fast.
Right, and you're going to be up there throwing a lot more pitches, and they won't get hits off of them, but you're going to be out there a long time.
Right, and they're like, if you can hit these spots, you can pitch to contact and get out of innings faster. Go ahead.
I was reading this yesterday. Just to give you an idea for you non-baseball fans how good this kid is. You know the last rookie to start a Major League Baseball All-Star game?
What?
Hideo Nomo, 1995.
Well, his stats as a rookie are the best since at least 1901.
Yeah.
I saw some baseball writer put out yesterday. He's phenomenal. And for that very reason, he should get taken out. Or be more efficient. He had 99 pitches through 7. He was going to be up into the 120s, 130s, even if he pitched really well. And they would have had to take him out anyway. And even according to your argument, John, they would have had to take him out. And so they were going to take him out after 8 anyway.
I just want the player to decide it, not a chart.
The player can't decide.
No, the player to decide it, whether he goes too many pitches for anybody or gives up a hit. Just don't take him out before I believe it's time. That's all.
All right, well, they would have had to take him out after the 8th, according to your math anyway.
If he had another efficient inning, I think.
If he had another 8-pitch inning?
105. Well, he averaged like 14 pitches an inning and had a 6-pitch inning and a 7.
Yeah, but when you average 14 pitches an inning and you've had a 6-pitch inning, that means that was an anomaly. You know what I'm saying?
He's trending in the right
Let
direction.
the player decide.
We're splitting hairs here.
Like Pedro? Like Grady Little saying, you know what? You think you can go?
That's right.
All
of course, you had to bring that up.
Well,
thank you so
the
much.
ultimate example.
By the way, Strasburg and Pryor, there's these guys that have been these phenoms that have all thrown their arms out. And they all were hard throwers, and they all threw their arms out, and they ruined their careers. Jesus Christ, I just told you the story about why one of the reasons Torrey got fired is because him and Rigetti were screwing around with this prospect that was coming off arm surgery, and they were saying he was throwing 30 pitches, and Cashman put in hidden cameras in the bullpen and saw that he was throwing way more, and the kid ended up never pitching in the major leagues again because they ruined the kid's arm. Like, no one knows. No one knows the right amount. But I'd way err in the side of, unless he had a perfect game. But way, and that's my own thing, and I'll admit that. But unless it's, I'd way err on the side of caution.
And just very quickly, the one thing I agree with John on is I understand they have to pay attention to spin rate and velocity and all that stuff. But if I were them, I would focus in on forget about all that. The fact that, it didn't do much for you in the initial innings. It's not necessarily because spin rate and velocity are bad. It's because of location and the strategy of where and what you're trying to do.
Yeah. They were only using that as a gauge to see if he was getting tired.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they weren't doing it based on how effective he was. They were seeing if he was tired because they're paranoid that he's going to get hurt.
Right.
As I would be. I don't want him hurt. And if I'm a Pirates fan, quite frankly, I want him to pitch for the rest of the season so I can go see him pitch.
Yeah.
I don't want him to throw it. I would rather see him pitch all year than see him pitch a no-hitter.
Watch this kid pitch Tuesday. He is something else.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
And let's keep him pitching. These guys that are these baseball guys, they're wrong. Like, they're wrong about it. Like, the Pirates will tell you why they did it. They'll tell you. They'll go, this is why we did it. And you might go, I don't like that. But it doesn't. But they're right. Like you're not right. Like they don't want him to get hurt, and if he kept going, there's more of a chance he'd get hurt. That's a fact. Because it's more pitches. God, it drives me crazy. All right. But, John, I get what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. You have every right to get pissed off about it. It's just the Pirates did the right thing. All right, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Touch Your...
tweeted someone who said, like, oh, wow, I could never hear, Fred ruined that. I could never hear that song the same way again, the song I Want You to Play Again here. And then someone said, no, Fred ruined something for someone can't believe it, which I think was sarcastic, and they were taking a good-natured comment about someone who was enjoying the show and turned it on its head to be negative. So I want to do this again if it ruined it so much for you.
I don't know what song you're talking about.
It is the Killers.
Oh.
Okay, so everyone right now, if you're not driving, or even if you are, if you're at a red light, get up a picture of Jerry Seinfeld. I want you to get a picture of Jerry Seinfeld, and if you can, at the very least, put in your mind's eye a photo of Jerry Seinfeld. Picture in your mind's eye Jerry Seinfeld, but better yet, look at a picture of Jerry Seinfeld. Now listen to this.
Yeah, but really find a good picture first.
Thinking it's a little hard to get up.
Hey. Call Northeast Men's Health.
Thank you. That's the sponsor.
And this is the guy who is obviously on the internet saying other things sound like other things. And he says this.
Sending these tweets, I'm going to keep playing it. So that's how I'm going to react to you.
I can never listen to that song the same way again. It's at every ball game you ever go to. It's everywhere.
And now it's Jerry Seinfeld singing it.
Every BC football game I ever go to, the student section jumps around and sings this thing.
And again, that's a guy on Instagram, and for every minute I waste on there looking at women lip-syncing lines from movies, while it's just an excuse because they're hot, which is a whole... They set up a camera, and then they play like a scene from a movie where they lip-sync it like, why are you single? Well, because blah, blah, blah. Like, they don't just say it. They have to effing lip-sync it. And I guess, like, the first person who did it did something novel, but now everyone does it because they just copy whatever else they see.
Right.
And I understand I'm watching it because you're good looking, but you could literally just sit there stand there jumping up and down, and I would like it more than what you're doing. I'm looking at you because you have big breasts, not because of what you're lip syncing. So stop the charade. Just be hot on the internet. I mean, if you want to be on the internet, I mean, you're on it because you're hot. Just let's not pretend. Let's cut the middleman. Perhaps unleash those puppies. Let's see what's doing.
We interrupt this program for breaking news.
It's news.
Les. Sports kind of meets newsflash.
On Toucher and Hardy.
All right, so Mikey Lockhart's been very busy. He's been out skewering the internets for women pretending to say things for movies. All right, what's going on?
We're going to start with a clown. Now, Fred, this clown is anything but funny, as you can imagine.
All right. Is he John Wayne Gacy, who, the singer from Korn, when he took me into his personal house of horrors that he was on tour with, had many pictures by, and I said, he raped children. Good for you, Jonathan Davis. All right, here we go. But isn't it mad? Yeah, it's a child molester who killed kids. Congratulations.
Do you have any Nazi memorabilia you want to show me while
And then
we're at
Schilling
it?
said, hey, I do.
And why are you upset about this?
Yeah, what's the deal?
What's your problem?
Oh,
It's
you
history.
Jews.
You're the problem, not me.
Oh, you Jews in that whole war.
A professional clown is facing charges after meeting an undercover officer during a prostitution sting. Now, officers...
So it was the episode of the show Hunter. Do you remember the episode of the show Hunter with the ex-football player, by the way, who was going to play Sam in the show Cheers? He was the original
Fred
Sam.
Dreyer was the original choice?
Was the original choice.
Wow.
In fact, Fred Dreyer does an episode of Cheers as a nod to the original selection.
Yeah.
And you, of course, know Axel Foley was going to be Sly Stallone. The studio insisted upon it, and then Stallone rewrote the script, and they didn't like it. But this is... prostitution stings. If you ever saw the show Hunter, there was a fairly attractive woman on the show, and in every other episode they would dress her up as a hooker for no reason, and just have her go be a hooker to entrap someone.
Yeah,
there was no other way to get the bad guy but have her be a hooker.
A professional clown is facing charges after meeting an undercover officer during a prostitution sting. Now, officers said that they found a man later identified as 28-year-old Francis Abu of Scranton advertising.
All right, Mushmouth, get it out.
She's having trouble now. His last name is B-U-I, so I don't know how to pronounce it either.
Is this Scranton news? Because this chick sucks.
She's not great. She's not great.
She's ruining my flow here.
Said that they found a man later identified as 28-year-old Francis Abu of Scranton advertising himself under the escort section of a website. Police contacted a boy to set up an appointment, and he agreed to perform sexual acts for $100 an hour at the hotel in the city. The undercover officer met boy, and he was arrested on scene. Boy also told officers that he performs as the amazing Franco and just got back from traveling with the circus, according to court documents. Boy,
what is John Franco going to do in retirement, if not be a prostitute clown? Excuse me, could you please spray me with that flower on your lapel? Now, could you spray me with something else?
Wait a second. So you're a full-time prostitute? No. I'm a full-time. I just got back in town. I'm with the circus.
Yeah, that's like, I work at Sharper Image, but I'm an actor. I describe
didn't you
myself
tour
as
with
an
a
actor.
clown there, Hardy, at one point?
Did I tour with a clown?
Yes.
No, I toured with the Diamond Sisters.
Sorry.
They were illusionists, John.
And they were hot older women, and Hardy was in a car cross country with them.
That's right.
that boy, and he was arrested on scene. Boy also told officers that he performs as the amazing Franco.
What is going on at the Scranton news station? There's like a guy going, this mushmouth can't get through it. And then the guy in the background's just chiming in.
Sounds like the crossover with.
It's just like everyone in Scranton doesn't want to. Just Scranton's giving up.
Officers that he performs as the amazing
Franco. He goes, Franco. It's just the drunk guy next door, Franco.
And just got back from traveling with the circus.
Hey, let's let the real professional step in. Franco.
That's how you say it.
Franco American. That's what I call a hot dog. Franco. Can you imagine if John Franco was a prostitute, the ex-reliever for the Mets? The amount of money he'd make with that stash?
Yes, according to court documents, boy was charged with promoting prostitution.
All right. Well, who knows what you said? Stumbly, unstumbly. Please. What is in that lapel pin that you were spraying on me? Please tell me it was not water. Please tell me it came from you. All right. Let's do one more before we break.
I don't even know where to begin. This is a crime spree that this gentleman went on.
All right, here we go. A crime spree.
Police arrested a man accused of breaking into several businesses in West Columbus, including a pet store, where he set several animals loose in the process. Matthew Pancake is charged.
I believe I've met his
Matthew Pancake
sister. She has 4 children.
Have you seen the meme of the guy who's like the real life Beavis?
Yes.
Oh, he's closely related to that guy.
Okay.
That's Matthew Pancake.
Because he sounds like a hero so far.
All right.
Because we know don't shop, adopt, right, with the animals?
Yeah, it's not a Pee Wee Herman setting him free in a fire situation.
Okay.
He had other things in mind.
Oh. I don't like that.
Police arrested a man accused of breaking into several businesses in West Columbus, including a pet store, where he set several animals loose in the process. Matthew Pancake is charged with breaking and entering and vandalism. Police on scene told 10 TV they got a call about a burglary alarm going off at a Roosters on Nike Station Way. When they got there just after 3 o'clock this morning, they found the restaurant was broken into. Police say video showed a man in leopard print pajamas inside the building. About 100 yards away, officers found the Petland was also broken into and animals were running around the parking lot. Officers found hamsters in Pancake's pants.
And a copy of An Officer and a Gentleman.
That was a much more clever way to put it than I was about to.
Matthew Pancake. Officers found hamsters in Pancake's pants.
Did you ever see that South Park where Mr. Slave has the Lemmy Winks? And it's like the Lord of the Rings. It's one of the brilliant episodes of television of all time. One brave hamster emerged 5 days later.
Officers found hamsters in Pancake's pants.
And immediately crawled into a local bar and had 3 shots of bourbon. It's been a rough 5 days, guys. Can you guys spike the water bottle here? I got to get to the corner of the cage quick. I'm just going to lay my head on this wheel. It's been a rough 5 days. Can someone please wash me off?
Police say video showed a man in leopard print pajamas.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler PJs.
That's right.
Officers found hamsters in Pancake's pants when finally making the arrest.
We say it all the time. We never know what to expect in our job. And one day, you're running after a suspect. The next day, you're running after a ferret or a bunny.
Yeah, that's crawling out of a guy's pants. And I wonder if they had to, lure them. Sir, you're going to have to get into this contraption while we put cheese in front of your anus.
Now, Mike, do we have the body cam audio? Okay.
Well, police also recovered 2 dogs, multiple birds, and at least 2 bunnies from the parking lot. Pancake is due back in court tomorrow.
He also works weddings. As soon as you come out of the courthouse, he just pulls his pants down and bends over. Dubs!
Later on, there is body cam footage of the arrest that obviously we can't watch, but the audio is worth it.
Okay.
So
I look forward to hearing about Mr. Pancake.
He's
Matthew Pancake.
Jen McCaffrey is going to join us in just a moment. She is covering diligently these Boston
She might
Red
relinquish
Sox.
her time on the floor, though, to hear the body cam audio. We don't know.
Yeah, she might be like, listen, I'm all for gerbils, but a man needs what he needs. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy.
touch her and Hardy and don't look now. But these Red Sox, who you so brazenly dismiss every season and complain about it obsessively to the point where it just is annoying background noise to me, are actually pretty good. And they're only 5.5 games out of an AL East that looks all of a sudden, I mean, everyone was so hell-bent on the Yankees in Baltimore, and the Yankees are a train wreck, and now Baltimore is on a little bit of a skid. And look now, but not only the wild card, but you're within 5.5 of Baltimore. And stranger things have happened. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but stranger things have happened. And now you have rumors that the buying at the deadline and this and that in the third. And we'll see if Jen McCaffrey is as knowledgeable of yours truly when we get to the Paul Skenes situation.
Yeah.
Jen McCaffrey is the Red Sox beat writer for The Athletic. She joins us on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. Jen McCaffrey, hello.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
We're good. How are you? Good stuff.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah. Now
there
we
you
can.
go.
All right. There we go.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you on
Okay,
this
because
end.
I asked how you were doing, and I didn't hear anything back, which I thought was
Oh,
rude.
well, then maybe that's a sign, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I was like, geez, Louise,
Very
we just
easily
started
offended,
this thing.
Jen. Don't worry about
I
it.
said I was doing okay, so I guess,
all right.
you know.
See?
Not
See,
so
Fred?
She said not okay?
No, she said okay, but I don't think she's doing good. Are you ill?
Jen, are you okay?
Oh no, I'm just guys, I'm doing great. It's a wonderful morning. Yeah.
Is it what's happening in the world?
That could be weighing on a few things for sure.
All right, Jen. Well, listen, you have to know there's an order to the universe. Then there's more to it than this. All right, listen, Jen, I will get to baseball. All right. Now, how surprised are you, as someone who's been around the team since spring training, that this is where they sit close to the All-Star game?
Yeah, I think it's been surprising for everybody. You know, the pitching really has taken off and kind of carried this team in the early part of the year. And then the offense, when the pitching dipped a little bit, really found its stride. So they're kind of hitting on all cylinders. And really just as a young team have kind of found their footing. And, you have to give a lot of credit to Alex Cora for kind of pushing the right buttons and getting out of this team, what not a lot of people expected, and obviously dealing with as many injuries as they did early in the year. It's pretty impressive to see where they're at. You guys mentioned about, being 5.5 back of the Orioles. Obviously it's still only July, but it's a crucial time period with the trade deadline approaching. So I think everyone in the organization is obviously happy with where they're at, but know that they kind of can't let their foot off the gas.
I've seen Sam Kennedy on Nesson insist that this team is going to take on salary if the trade is right, and he talks about the track record of ownership. As a Red Sox fan, why should I or any other fan trust what it is he says?
Well, I think the key thing there that he said, if the trade is right, I think they've always used that clarifier, we'll spend if, we find the right deal. And they can kind of fall back on, well, we didn't find the right deal. So, I think you want to be mindful of those kind of things. And, I think they will. I think they will if, Breslow can line something up. But I think at the same time, you also have to be mindful of this is Breslow's first trade deadline. He's never done this before as the top guy in charge. And obviously he's got a lot of people around him that are going to be, guiding him and helping him. And I'm sure Theo Epstein is going to be, very much in the mix in the next few weeks with, some guidance for him. But it's going to be an interesting time period to see if he can pull off what needs to get done. And I think that's part of the reason why, every time we've talked to Breslow in a number of interviews over the past few, I talked to him a couple weeks ago. I know he's talked to a number of outlets in the past week of just, he hasn't definitively said, yes, we're buyers. I think he is still trying to, couch, all of his words and make sure that he's kind of, not putting himself too much in one position yet. But it does sound like, as this team, they've won 18 of 24. They're inching up the standings. If they don't do something, I think there's going to be some, even more frustration than there's been the last few years, because this team feels a lot more prepared for the postseason, there's a lot more potential for the postseason than there was the last few years.
Okay, what is now? No one's asking them to go out and get like Vlad Guerrero Jr. or something. No one's asking them to give up a ton of their assets. Everyone knows that what they have in the minors. What would be the hesitation for getting a left-handed starter, like like a depth rotation piece, when you didn't have to give up one of your top 10 prospects, because it can't be financial, because I would think that if you made the playoffs, you'd make money in that, because especially if you get an expiring contract. What's the hesitation to make a move at the deadline? Not a blockbuster, but a move.
Yeah, I don't think there is a hesitation. I think it's just lining things up right. Pitching is obviously such a commodity, and every team, that's contending is going to want pitching. So obviously the asking price is going to go up, and our team's going to be asking for the top prospect for kind of a mid-level guy, and you're not going to want to necessarily do that move. I think that's what it comes down to. Not necessarily they don't want to, or they don't, that they can't afford to, or aren't going to want to spend the money. I think it's more so finding, the right matchup. You're not going to, send Marcelo Meyer out for, a 4.50 ERA guy that's going to be on an expiring contract. But so many teams, are in need of pitching. Guys that are even, halfway decent are going to be commanding, high asking prices. So I think that this time of the year, this is what it comes down to, is just kind of the back and forth of, no, I'm not going to give you this. What about this? What about that? And, it whittles down. And for a guy that's brand new at this, it's going to be interesting to just see how he handles this and how he negotiates all of this and what he's willing to give up. When I talked to him a few weeks ago, the Red Sox have built up the farm system and have a huge, crush in the middle infield. They have a ton of middle infielders they can trade from. There's a kid in AAA right now, Nick York, that's doing really well. But, does he have a spot here in Boston? You've got a number of other kind of guys up the middle that are guys they could trade from, but are they willing to trade from that? And Breslow was basically said yes, and it's been his job over the past 6 months or 8 months since he got the job of figuring out which of these guys is going to contribute in the future and which of them he wants to trade. So that's what we're going to find out in the next 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, because you can't get too precious with your prospects, or that's a losing game. I mean, you have to exchange some of them for major league talent. But the reason that I put it to you that way is because everything I hear about the Red Sox, not from you guys who cover the team, but from sports radio and everything, is John Henry won't spend any money. John Henry doesn't want to spend any money. John Henry doesn't care about the team. And that's why I asked you, because it didn't make sense to me how financially it would be a burden upon John Henry to acquire a lefty starter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like this. You're not taking on, Ohtani's contract. I mean, you're talking about a depth rotation piece, which is why I asked it that way. So you think it's unfair when people are speculating that John Henry's put the kibosh on adding talent on this team?
I don't think it's unfair, because I definitely understand people's frustrations with how the team has spent. But, I do think they see themselves in a position, listen, this, we know this team is about kind of the bottom line and, what it'll do to take fans, to get fans in the stands. And they've seen people showing up over the past few weeks as they've been following this exciting team. So if they see this as an investment of, we need to add pitching because it's going to, spur and push on a postseason run, and that in turn will bring people to the park and, spur on that Fenway experience that they've talked about, then they're going to do it. Everything's a business decision.
Well,
and
yeah.
so if this is a good business decision, I think they'll do it. And I think it is a good business decision. And, Sam said the other day, they're willing to add, add to the payroll. So I think, I think they would, again, for the right trade. I don't think, it's going to be something they're going to avoid just because of the finances.
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me. But just real quick, because we got to go. Paul Skenes got pulled out of a no-hitter yesterday in the 7th inning. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's we asked Cora about this too. It's a different game nowadays, right? Back in the day, you'd let him go 120 pitches and that's that, and he'd get his no-hitter. And we actually brought up Clay Buchholz, who obviously had his no-hitter, and what was it, the second or third start of his career? But yeah, Cora basically said he'd do the same thing. He's like, I'm not going to, let a guy like that who's got so much talent go, 140 pitches. You always, as someone watching the game, and obviously the fans want to see the guy go out there and try to get it done. But these guys carry so much value. There's, guys that are managing the team and behind the scenes always keep that in mind. And I think always err on the side of caution, especially with a guy like him. They tried to play it safe, and you want to see the no-hitter, of course, but I think they probably made the right call there.
Jen McCaffrey, you and Alex Cora are correct. Thank you. You have passed the test, Jen McCaffrey.
All right. Glad to hear that.
Very good. Everyone read Jen McCaffrey. She covers the Red Sox on The Athletic. Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks, Jen.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. Jen McCaffrey.
They passed the whole waiting thing. They were waiting last week and earlier this week, the Red Sox. And like, well, just need a little more time. They're up over 90 games. Like, this is no longer the time to evaluate and see what you've got. Now you know what you've got. So I don't believe in that. I think that was just an excuse to, buy some more time for themselves to figure out, God, is this something that we're really going to be forced into doing here? Because that wasn't their plan.
Yeah, Buster Olney.
But they're not saying that anymore.
Yeah, 3 days ago, Buster Olney reported that the Red Sox were undecided.
Yeah,
as to what to do.
But no one's making moves today. You know what I'm saying? So, they have that time. It never made sense to me why finances would be a problem with that. It seems like like Jen just said, it seems like you'd make money. That's what I've been saying the whole time. It never made sense to me. I understand you don't mortgage one of your top prospects for someone this year. Some people might think you should, but I don't think you should. But you can't get too precious with, especially where you have numerous players at the same position. You can't get too precious with that. It's a losing game. I mean, even top prospects, Jordan Walker, don't end up working out necessarily. Dylan Carlson. I can name a bunch from the team I like. Go ahead. And then guys that weren't supposed to be good, Burleson, Nootbaar, those guys come in, they're major leaguers. Go ahead.
The finances thing, the argument for finances is valid. Remember, they were talking about trading Kenley Jansen during spring training because he's on an expiring contract.
No, that's a different argument. I understand that. No, they're not going to get rid of Kenley Jansen now.
You're right. You would hope not, sure.
Well, John, they're not. But the point is, that was a talk then. I'm talking about adding a left-handed starter is not going to put you in a financial hole. In fact, I would argue if that's the difference between making the playoffs and not making the playoffs, the gate you'll make on the playoffs you would make money in the end. I mean, I don't know how much they make per game, but I would imagine it's $1 million. You know what I'm saying? I think it would pay for itself. Right? If you're paying for 1/5 of a guy's contract, that the gate would make it worthwhile. Just as a raw financial decision, it would be in your benefit to make the deal.
Yeah, it would benefit them to get, and Jim Bowden said this yesterday, a proven starter, a right-handed power bat. If they could get both of those things, you can't complain about anything if you're a Red Sox fan. I sincerely hope they do.
Yeah.
This team deserves it.
And the notion that they're somehow looking toward not just, as Breslow said a couple of days ago, you just can't take the player or even manager mentality of going out there and trying to win today. I'm trying to win next week, next month, next year. Okay, but they've been winning for a few weeks now, and they have put themselves in a position where they can continue to win. So I understand that next year has to be part of your calculus in this, but you prioritize. At this point in the season, this is where you prioritize. Is this season winnable? Can you continue to win and even win more this season? If that's the case, then you got to forget about
next year. You got to narrow this year,
or at least move it down the priority list.
Yes, you have to narrow your focus to this year. I mean, I'm not saying blow out your prospects, but Fred already mentioned that. But you got to narrow your focus to this year. You're being slapped in the face with a good season. Build on it. Get some good feeling back. People are not happy with ownership.
Face. Get some good feeling back.
There's no music for you.
I know. I thought you were doing the Tang way. It was like,
you want to slap me in the face?
No,
it feels good.
You get rid of your entire farm system.
No, I've been a bad boy.
Who's gonna be
No.
Season is peaks and valleys like Rocky Suarez.
I was talking about. You said slap in the face feels good.
Okay.
I've been bad. I'm been a cad.
Hey, fatso.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll be back. There is, you said, camera footage of the man who had the hamsters on his pants.
There's one more story. Yes, there's one more story to get to, but we will return with the body cam audio of one Matthew Pancake being arrested.
All right,
Matthew Pancake.
Yeah.
We will be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines.
Tanner Houck threw 6 shutout innings. Masataka Yoshida homered and drove in 4 runs, and the Red Sox beat Oakland last night 7-0 at Fenway Park. They take 2 of 3 from the A's. They got a pretty big 3-game weekend series coming up against Kansas City starting tonight at Fenway Park. The Athletic is reporting that with the trade deadline coming up, Craig Breslow has been looking for a veteran starting pitcher and a right-handed power bat. The Celtics' Jaylen Brown was honored at the ESPYs last night with the award for Best Championship Performance. And former Patriots head coach Bill Belichick has a new TV job. He'll join Inside the NFL for the coming NFL season. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by MIFA, providing resources to help you plan for college. Info at mefa.org. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9 o'clock.
Boston, the greatest sports town in America.
We have a farm. I have about 200 pigs here.
We get to spill beers on each other without worrying about spilling beers on people.
Boston's home for sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Asher and Hardy brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. The lines are always open. We got a fresh-faced kid, one of my kids out of Hofstra. Cologne, McGee, is in there.
Isaac.
Why do you call him that?
They call him Isaac because he's always got a cocktail handed to you and a wink. And he gives you
Light,
double guns.
out of sight.
Hey! Double guns, mother effer. All right. When we left you in the 8 o'clock hour before we talked to Jed McCaffrey, I'll just play the story. It's only a minute. We played you this story.
Police arrested a man accused of breaking into several businesses in West Columbus, including a pet store, where he set several animals loose in the process. Matthew Pancake is charged with breaking and entering and vandalism. Police on scene told 10 TV they got a call about a burglary alarm going off at a Roosters on Nike Station Way. When they got there just after 3 o'clock this morning, they found the restaurant was broken into. Police say video showed a man in leopard print pajamas inside the building. About 100 yards away, officers found the pet land was also broken into and animals were running around the parking lot. Officers found hamsters in Pancake's pants.
All right. So the officers get into this Roosters restaurant.
Yes.
Where they completely ignored the cockfighting in the back and they just focused on this poor guy. And they found this guy. He had hamsters in his pajamas.
Officers found hamsters in Pancake's pants.
Right.
All right. So what you say he had a body? There's body cam footage of this.
So the follow-up story is, again, that toward the end of it, the anchor, which we're not going to hear, the anchors apologize because apparently this was either later that day or the next day. They said they were laughing about the gerbils or the hamsters, but all the animals were okay. Apparently there were some complaints about, the animal cruelty, and they're like, no, everyone's fine. But the really good part here is the audio of the body cam when they were arresting the suspect.
On your belly, Mr. Pancake! Get on your belly! In the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly!
So they had either identified him at the scene.
That's real?
By getting his ID out, or my guess, Fred, this is not his first run-in with local law enforcement.
Recognize him on sight.
Get on your belly! In the name of the law,
It's
Pancake,
Big
get on your
Gerbil.
belly!
They have. Oh boy! Don't put the gerbils there. They don't like it.
God damn it, Pancake! This is the third time this week. Now get on your belly, Mr. Pancake.
Well, I have to get on my belly, or the gerbil will die. How are you going to get the gerbil out if I'm not on my belly, silly? Unless you've devised some kind of bottomless toilet. Jeez Louise.
Pancake, get on your belly! In the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly!
In the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly.
Someone knew they were, they could trot everything out. All right, I just looked at the picture, Mike.
Yeah.
All right, here's the last story. I was instructed to look at the picture of the guy before we got to it.
Well, otherwise it's a bit confusing, but go ahead.
Guys,
we go to South Carolina for this, Fred. A 4th of July mishap turned tragic.
He's dressed as Uncle Sam.
A very patriotic gentleman.
With a big 10-gallon hat, USA hat. He's dressed in the stars and stripes. He's dancing around. He couldn't be happier. What happens when you start enjoying yourself? You die.
Investigators in South Carolina are still trying to piece together what happened after they say a person shooting fireworks was killed by the explosives. The Dorchester County coroner says the death was easily preventable.
Well, according to witnesses and family members at the scene, the decedent was standing in the roadway on Cottonwood Drive and had on a large top hat and put the firework device on top of that, lit it, put it on top of his head, and it exploded.
They don't know why he died? Apparently the victim or the casualty in this took the barrel of the gun, inserted it into his mouth, and then pulled the trigger.
So in the original story here, they're saying he had a top hat on. I'm like, what was he dressed like? Uncle Sam? Was just a, oh no, this is a full red, white, and blue outfit complete with the Uncle Sam top hat. And he decided to put a firework on top of the hat. Hey, look at this.
And a Parliament 100 in his mouth as well.
Yes.
The police report says McGrew started drinking at 6 p.m. and his wife tried to get him to not put the firework on his head, but she said he was trying to show off.
Damn it, woman, this is my day. You showing off. I'm effing Uncle Sam, man. Woo! I'm Ric Flair. I'm a human flare. Woo! Oh, your daddy's showing off. Watch this, kids. Kablowie. I put dynamite on top of my head. I'm showing off.
You got to stand up for, a red-blooded American.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
I mean, how many people have been down at the quarry showing off and end up with no hand? Get a load of this.
But
Kablowie.
how bad was the injury, really? I mean, it's just, top hat. The top of the hat is probably a foot away from the top of his head. And he just put a firework on top.
But you're assuming, Hardy, that there's cardboard of some sort keeping the hat in the air, and
True.
that the weight of the firework is not going to crush him. As someone who handles big explosives down in Tennessee every 4th of July, I can tell you that some of those things they can weigh 10 pounds. I mean, you put that on a hat. The hat is no match to that. But just everybody in the South who's like, check it out, you're showing off. Shut up, woman. You're always ruining his day.
What are the odds that he started drinking at 6 p.m.?
Oh, it's a 0. 6 p.m. the day before.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was just because he woke up.
6 p.m. on July 3rd.
Yes. That crank keep a man up. You're showing off. Shut up. You always ruin my fun. All right.
Coroner said that the death was easily preventable. Well,
yeah, if you don't love America, being a commie.
Don't put a firework on your head. Also, officers, when they arrived at the scene, he was pronounced dead at the scene. Massive head trauma.
Yeah.
So this guy, he may have blown his head off.
That's what it sounds like to
by
me.
putting the firework on top of the top hat.
Well, my hope is with the skull and the blood, they just added a little bit of blue food color.
Yep, the red, white, and blue.
You got to be careful with the fireworks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
You got to be careful. As someone who lights them off every year.
Rest in peace, Alan Ray McGrew. Rarely drank, they said.
He went out in a blaze of glory, literally. And never, every time the woman tells you not to do something, you tell her to mind her own business. It's your day, and you go ahead and blow your head off. Who is she to tell you what to do? Damn it, woman, shut it! You get back in the cab of that truck. That is the damn Uncle Sam. Boom. Whoops. All that would happen if it blows up is my face will just get suited and my hair will stand straight up. Ain't you never seen The Road Runner? I have all this Acme stuff. It's just going to, if worst case scenario, I smoke a little bit and I turn sooty. That's worst case scenario. All right, so we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Oh, Fred.
You do it now.
Oh, Fred.
Yeah.
Have you even heard about this Sparked Energy at Dunkin'? It's a new energy drink. Do you even know?
No.
Well, it's totally revitalizing with caffeine.
age. Fine. They were in studio one time when we were at BCN. They played in studio. I liked Josh Homme.
Just had to cancel their entire tour.
Why?
Josh needs emergency surgery.
On what?
I don't know if it indicated. I just read the headline. Sorry. Just said,
Jesus, Dan.
Popular singer needs, and I went popular.
Well, he's more than a
emergency
singer.
Surgery.
He's a man who was...
Front man, I think they refer to him as.
He was married to that one punk chick, and she left the dude for Rancid for him.
He did say that he was diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago, but he didn't go into details about it other than to say he had a successful surgery to remove it.
Okay.
I never say it can't get any worse. I never say that, and I wouldn't advise it, but I do say it can get better.
Yeah, he was in studio, and he was really funny because he was making fun of Collective Soul and about how bad a band they were. Even though I'm friends with Will Turpin, I will put that on the table. The bassist for Collective Soul, they are a bad band.
They are not a good.
And I think Will would tell you they're not the greatest band in the world. But he's like, but I think his attitude would be, why would I leave it? I mean, I'm being a paid musician.
Yeah, and there is something to be said for they're writing songs. They're writing catchy
Ed
3 and 4.
Rollin is, yeah.
Yeah, Ed Rollin is writing catchy 3-4 minute pop rock songs. Okay, I don't think they're good. I've never gone out of my way to listen to one, but I don't find them offensive either.
I could get you to find them offensive by telling you this tale.
Oh.
Ed's wife.
Do tell.
Ed's wife left Ed Rollin, the Svengali of the Collective Soul. His wife, I guess, left him at some point. And he showed up to the station in sunglasses carrying a can of Budweiser.
Oh.
And we went, okay.
Gel would be the song to goof on.
Well, I just think the lack
Shine or
Shine was a legit hit, though.
I'm gonna challenge the guitar sound on any of their music. It's a very tinny, non-depth of sound. My
Not a bad tone.
No, very medium, like middle of the road.
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
This is what always fascinated me about Collective Soul, though.
Why anyone would go, this is a band I'd pay to see?
How many albums, and I don't know the answer, but just take a guess, how many albums did Collective Soul sell?
I don't know. They were around all the time, but go ahead.
I would say 5, 10 million?
Yeah.
Okay, tons. You know, because you have interaction with him a little bit. I would not know Ed Rollin if he walked into this studio today, 10 years ago, 30 years ago. Could not identify the man or anyone in that band. And any other band that had a hit that big, it's like, oh, that's the guy from so-and-so.
So Ed was kind of a dick, and his brother Dean was a really nice guy, but he was super dumb. And I know, and he was really,
let me ask you
no
something.
one likes him. Like, no one likes the music.
When he came into the radio station with his sunglasses and the can of Bud, was he trying to affect the I'm getting divorced and I'm spiraling type of dude?
Like torture artist-y kind of thing. And,
Good.
And I'll give it to you, but you better come in with more than a Budweiser. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you better have a pocket full of blow, and, like, you got to really be... And he wasn't even that effed up. Like, you got to be, like, real drunk and, like, on pills and stuff. Like, I'm not buying this single can of Budweiser. Like,
Sure.
That seemed like an affectation.
Maybe that was all that's left from the 30 rack he disposed of in the car.
I'm going to say that at 8 in the morning, you got to move past beer in general.
Okay.
Like, if you're drinking it, if you're going to pretend to be drunk at 8 in the morning, it's been a long time since you've had a 5% beer. You know what I'm saying? You come in with a bottle of Jack Daniels, and
Okay. Collective Soul out on tour. You can catch them August 1st in Hartford at Xfinity Center.
Yeah, I bet you they do, like, those summer shack tours, and I bet you they make a lot of money, like, you know, relatively.
They're playing.
Hootie and the Blowfish are printing money. And there's people that unashamedly go to these Hootie and the Blowfish shows. Like, I know people... I met a guy who goes, I'm traveling with my... I never go away. I'm traveling with my wife And friends. Oh, I didn't meet him. He said it on the radio. He was a guy on the Mad Dog channel. I didn't meet him. This is how lame I am. I thought it was a friend of mine. It's a guy. He's like, I'm traveling with my wife and friends. We're going to a concert in Sarasota. Or not Sarasota, in Saratoga. Mm-hmm. We're going to Saratoga. It's about a 3-hour drive from New York City, he said. I'm going to Saratoga. And then he goes, we are going to see Hootie and the Blowfish. And it's just insane to me that you could drum up 6 people in the same that all know each other that want to go to the show. B, that you would take any kind of transportation to get there, and B, that you would plan a weekend around it. Even in retrospect, you don't go like that. At best, is elevator music.
If I was having a party and I had 10 friends over at the house, I wonder if I could get 6 of my friends to walk across the street to go see Hootie and the Hootie's playing across the street. You want to go, Fred? You want to go?
No, absolutely not. No.
Wallach, you going?
I'd actively avoid it.
Gosh,
I'd drive to
thanks for asking.
Saratoga to avoid watching Hootie and the Blowfish. And I don't dislike them or think that you suck for liking them. It's not like the Grateful Dead. Don't get me wrong. If you like Hootie and the Blowfish, that's fine. It's just all these years later, Scott just texted me, you suck, Hootie's great. And I don't believe Scott Zolak thinks Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh, no,
now,
he legitimately.
He goes to the show?
No, he doesn't go to shows.
All right.
But him and Bertrand both like Hootie.
No, that's different. Liking that song or the Dolphins Make Me Cry song, like when it existed or when it plays, going, oh, that's a song. That's exactly how it should be consumed. Oh, that's a song that happened. Okay, I get it. That's a song that happened. But the impulse to go, let's spend money and take our time to watch these guys perform these songs 25 years later is a slap in the face to the human race.
And just let her cry.
Let's put it this way. If I put Ed Rollin and the band outside of Darius Rucker of Hootie and the Blowfish in here, could you identify what band anyone was in?
Well.
What the hell is this? Is this the Saturday morning thing about eating cheese?
No, that's a hanker for a hunk of cheese.
It's a wagon wheel.
That's the country Hootie.
Wagon wheel is the apparently, according to folk people and hootenanny goers, wagon wheel that's Stairway to Heaven. It's the most trite, obvious. If you show up at a place like where folk bands are playing, some of them even have signs that say absolutely no wagon wheel. So when a Hootie when a Hootie puts out a song, of course it's.
How many times do you think Darius Rucker has gone to perform and someone's taken their friends and their friends when Darius Rucker took the stage went, what the hell? And then he goes, he's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
He acts white. Yeah. Hold your horses. Just wait. He'll play David Allen Coe. He don't care.
Lockhart found a bunch of albums that are coming out today. Would you like to listen to a little something here?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's break and do that, and then we'll do email last. We'll switch things up because it's Friday. And you know what? Who's to say? I mean, but Scott's telling me Bertrand went to Fenway. Did another band play with Hootie? Oh, Jesus Christ!
Well, they had to.
Which band, Fred? Because I just said it to you in your headphones.
Bare Naked Ladies.
Yeah.
Who are a bad band. Bare Naked Ladies are bad, except for the singer. The main singer, I don't mind.
Who's not in the band anymore.
No.
They kicked him out.
No, and again, the unforgivable sin is the song where the guy raps. And there's nothing he can do to take that away. And it's completely unforgivable because he's trying so hard and it's just not good. I would have done better. I would have done better than that. First of all, I never would have done it because I have something called shame.
But if you were forced.
If you put a gun to my head, I might let you shoot me. That's a bad example. But if I was somehow given a potion where I would do that, it would be 100 times better than that. And I'm no poet, but it would be better than that. and he should never live that down. That's unforgivable.
Live it down. People will chant it and rap it right along with him. They love it.
And in 25 years from now, you too could still be doing it on stage.
And you know, I just talked to you about it off the air. You know who they are? Everyone who's singing that back to him is Martin Short from the Synchronized Swimming sketch. They just sit there with a blank smile on their face. What I'm saying is a bunch of dopes.
Not that good a swimmer.
I don't.
I'm not
good at listening to music.
I've heard this before. And he has a smile in his voice when he does it. It makes me feel like everything is okay. Most rap music sounds dangerous. He sounds happy. Therefore, I like it. And I don't care for blacks, but Darius Rucker, he passes. Now, I don't want him, in my home. But he, 20 feet away on the stage, okay. I ain't going to wear one of his shirts. He's one of the good ones. Dang, Willie, why'd you take me to this show? Look at who's on the stage. Well, he wasn't the good ones. You don't worry, he wasn't a good one. And that's not Darius Rucker's problem. Look, if you're Darius Rucker, make every dollar you can. Pull one over on those hicks. I don't care.
God.
But that's not an insult to Darius Rucker, but I'm just telling you that happens often at a Darius Rucker show. What you get, guy? You walk me in here. What's next? I got dang, blah, blah, blah on the stage. He one of the good ones. You wait. He sings just like a white guy. You wouldn't even close your eyes. You ain't going to even know he's colored. Close your eyes. Let me take a journey. You'll feel good about yourself after you sat in the prison. They'll even tell you, like, whoa, we never thought that was going to happen. Oh. They were like, we're just like an average bar band. They'll tell you that. Yeah. They know, like, they seem by all accounts to be like nice and like kind of get it. They're probably as surprised as anyone that went crazy. You know how many albums they sold, dude? Oh, God. That album, Rear Cracked Windows, sold
crazy.
Went, I think, Diamond, no joke. Yeah, I think that sold over 10 million copies. And again, it's not bad. 20 million, really?
Oh,
and again, it's
at least 15, Fred, because they didn't see a dime of it. Because
really?
They sold out to make the first record.
Yeah, that's a shame. But again, I guess touring now they would make a lot. But again, it's not bad music. It's just the idea that 25 years later, people want to see it performed is what's funny to me. It's and I don't think, again, I'm not making fun of you. I don't think you're a bad person. It's just interesting to me. Well, that something that bland is still interesting to you 25 years from now.
So wildly overplayed. Everyone got so sick of it, and now enough time has gone by that they're rediscovering it again, and it's okay to play.
No, there's no, but I disagree with that. There's no need to rediscover Hootie. The first time you hear it, you get it in its entirety.
And I think they tell you that. Like, I think they go like, it is what it is, guys.
There's nothing more to it. Like, and if you were to, I mean,
like they broke
you hear
up.
it again 20 years later, you're like, yep, they never really impacted me all that much then, and I'm hearing it again now. And I'm amazed that people would go out of their way to go to that show. I don't get it.
And I will tell you this, is that I would imagine that when they broke up, they were still getting along. It wasn't because they weren't getting along. I would guess that that at least Darius Rucker got sick of it. He got sick of it. Cameron, go ahead.
Hey, Fred.
Hi,
Before
Cameron.
you start on your rant, can I say I love that you, Hardy, and the Eagle are a great team. But, Fred, it sounds like you're going on a rant about nothing.
That's nothing.
That's all I have to say. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to kind of waste your time and my time, but Baba Booey.
How was your fourth?
Baba Booey. I thought that my message was clear.
I thought
his country audience are a bunch of hillbilly racists. I don't know if I could make it any clearer. What they're saying is he's one of the good blacks. when they're there. On the account of they don't like black people generally. I don't know if that's what I was saying. And what I'm saying about Hootie and the Blowfish is they're not inherently a bad band. They're just average. They're the epitome of average. All right. Very good. We will be back.
Stay tuned for more.
Hopefully, this last call. Kevin, go ahead.
First, I have to say I'm a fan of your work. I mean, I've been your bartender a million years ago, but I'm about to send you in the next level tailspin. Currently, Post Malone has a hit song on his country album where he's covering the Hootie and the Blowfish Dolphin song, and he replaces the Dolphins Make Me Cry with the Cowboys Make Me Cry. Oof. I'm sorry to ruin your weekend, but there you go.
What the hell's the matter with that guy? He's got actual talent. He can sing. He can play. He's got something.
Okay, so Kevin, there was a band like the Ataris or something, and they were on the Rock Against Bush Fat Mike compilation, and they did Boys of Summer, like a punk cover.
Yes.
And they said they changed the whatever sticker to a Black Flag sticker, and we had Fat Mike on, and I'm like, dude, that song sucks. And I'm like, that it was so lame when they did that. He goes, yeah, that song really sucks. And it was on his compilation. Kevin, when did you bartend for me?
I bartended at Union Street, Newton Center, a million years ago. I worked there on and off, like 3 ownerships. One of my claims...
Go ahead.
One of my claims to fame, and I'm not... I mean, you and I are in the same age group. That's why I love, all your things. But back in the day where they let us actually play our own music, and you looked up from, like, your drink, and I think your brunch. It might have been a Sunday brunch or whatever, and you were like, you're playing good music, and you went back to what you were doing, and I was like, yes.
Was I a good tipper, Kevin?
I cannot lie. I don't remember if you were a good tipper, but I will remember that you kept to yourself. You were always pleasant, and there was never an air of anything about you except, like, you were passing your time, and that's all you wanted to do.
He was a big embarrassing mess, is what you were saying?
That's bartender.
No, that would be Lyndon Byers, but that's a long, long story.
All right, Kevin, thank you so much for calling in, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys very much.
I don't want to antagonize you on a Friday.
That's fine. Antagonize away. Sometimes me getting upset makes the audience filled with glee. Watch videos of Post Malone from like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It's hysterical. He's a nice, flamboyant Jewish kid, nice guy.
But you do stuff like that, and I can't like you. If you covered,
you don't have to like his art. You know what I'm saying? I think that he comes off as like a very genuine, nice person. But I just think that the smartest thing he ever did in his life was get face tattoos. In fact, I'll go on the record in saying that's almost entirely why his music was heard.
And almost entirely the only example in life of someone getting face tattoos being the right decision career and life-wise.
Oh, no. He's the guy that it worked for. Like, now it's over. Like, yeah, Jelly Roll is very nice, but his huge size is what has distinguished him. Jelly Roll's the Dave Grohl of country music.
Face tattoos? No?
Yeah, I don't know if that matters so much because he's so fat. But the thing about Jelly Roll is he's the Dave Grohl of country music. What he's done is he was so personable and so nice to everyone in broadcasting and radio and television, and he never looked down on anyone. And they all universally supported him. And by his own personality, just like Dave Grohl, because the Foo Fighters aren't the greatest band of all time. But they're paid like they're the greatest band of all time due to the personality of Dave Grohl. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you're out there, if you're in a young band, there's nothing wrong with being nice to the people interviewing you.
Sounds like the opposite of the way you were in that bar. God, that guy made you sound like a real dick.
I would think you would find it difficult to find a bartender that says that I was a dick.
All right, new music out today, July 12th. Ever heard of Sturgill Simpson?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Have you? I don't. In Nashville, iconoclast Sturgill Simpson.
Yeah. I know someone who insisted on him.
Oh, okay. Poignant lyricist Cassandra Jenkins.
Okay.
Pop rebel Remy Wolf. Know any of these?
No.
Okay. Well, here's one that you almost certainly will know, and it comes to us courtesy of... Well, see if you can tell me who this is. It shouldn't take you too long to
I don't think it's that bad.
No, it's just when what's his name sampled Fly Like an Eagle in God. No.
Are you talking about the Ghetto Boys sampling Gangster of Love?
No.
For their song Gangster of Love, when he says, bitches look at me like I'm a faker, knowing, well, you know what? Well, then I'm a mother effing heartbreaker. He'll leave him crying for months because he'll bop their best friend and put a whipping on there,
Yeah, Fly Like an Eagle sampled in rap
Hardy,
song.
they have their mothers to call. But if you've effed one mom, you effed them all. And I really don't give a F. Because if your mom offers, what up, she's stuck. Well, that's what kind of man I am. I'm always game to run a train. Damn. 6 different hoes a night, Hardy. He uses lubricated rubbers.
I understand.
To make it feel right.
Right.
Better safe to be than be a victim. If you got a Jimmy hat, go ahead and, them. He puts this stuff in its place. And right before it happens, I can't say any of the next line.
I was going to say, well,
then he tells them to keep,
You think it's real fun.
And prepare themselves for their first,
I was going to say, you think it's real fun making jokes about your Jimmy. Well, here's a Jimmy joke about your mama that you might not like. And no, I can't tell you the joke. All right. How about this band Last Night? Was that Last Night on Jimmy Fallon?
No. Let's do this. Charlie, go ahead. Charlie, go ahead.
Sorry. How are you, sir?
Hey.
Hey, my sister is a bartender at Union. She said you came in and didn't tip her. I said, that's not the Fred I know, but
at
I don't know,
Union?
man.
It might be true. I can't say your sister's a liar, but I find that very difficult to believe.
The place is trash, so I understand.
Well, it's gone now. Well, under what ownership did I not tip her? Because
a skinny Indian man was managing the place.
That was
more of a
run.
That was more of a protest against that guy than it was your sister, sir.
Okay, here's what I'll say, Charlie, is that there's a good chance that bill was comped, and I left money on the bar, and someone took the money. Let's just say that.
Hey, I'm saying that to her next time I talk to her.
Thank you, because I would never intentionally stiff a bartender. As you know, I've worked in that field. I'm a tremendous tipper.
All right.
But there you go. I wanted to hear from someone, and you got someone. But Union, I don't believe.
Another band with an album out today. They're on Jimmy Fallon Last Night. Can you identify this band?
Their first new album in 4 years.
Jimmy's excited.
Yeah.
So it must be a big band.
My God, he's never excited about introducing anybody.
No.
I'm going to skip over this part. Let's see if you can just hear who it is.
I paused a moment once in time.
Is this Fish?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Before the
I thought it was Dolan's band there for a second.
Same difference.
To weigh the choice I had to make.
Yeah.
How does the light shine?
Same damn thing.
This is Pat Dolan, the owner of the Knicks band.
It's Dolan in the short straight shot or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Same thing. Run the Fish thing back. It's the same band.
And therein lies my first mistake.
Tell me I'm wrong.
My second came just after that.
I don't have to say anything. I don't have to say anything. I won't say anything. It is what it is.
Finally, one more that
stands on its own.
May be of interest to you. The Auditorium Volume 1.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, you already know who this is.
I think I might. Go ahead.
Fortunate for the breath of life.
Oh, no, I don't.
The breath of the Lord through
Is this Common?
That is Common.
Yeah, but I didn't know what this is. Go
Common
ahead.
and?
Fortunate in my house ain't a desperate wife. I study life so I can test the mic. The laboratory of a rapper story. From the alley to the allegory. I pour a rhyme in the time, let it travel for me. The one with self is the biggest battle for me. Fortunate when I was 12, I let rap allure me.
All right, it's Common and Pete Rock.
Ooh. Well, Pete Rock's probably not going to rap. Pete Rock's probably just producing the thing.
Yeah.
I like Common. He's a good actor, too. Don't sleep on his acting skills. All right, when we come back, we're gonna throw a big curveball. It's going to throw everyone off.
What are we doing?
Go to email. Last segment.
All
It's
right,
going to throw
maybe
everyone off. Everyone's used to it the last break, but now we're bringing it out the last break.
How about a combo email stack segment? You can do both.
Kablowie. Good. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with double gas. Double guns. All right, we'll be right back.
Sports Hub headline.
All right, you can email JON at 985thesportshub.com, Hardy at 985thesportshub.com, or Toucher at 985thesportshub.com. And I am all disappointed in all of you, almost all of you out there. Nicholas put a picture of Tyler Milliken's cousin's necklace, and you're all enabling him. A lot of you with your comments, and I've read most of them, saying Fred exaggerated it, that there's nothing wrong with Tyler Milliken's cousin's necklace. It's available at Toucher and Hardy, at Fred Toucher. And I think that's a disservice to the boy. I think you're all like kind of enabling him and really like kind of playing a Tony P style joke on him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's horrendous what he's wearing. All right, here's an email from Jared. Hello, Fred. Hello. BasketballReference.com has a Hall of Fame prediction tool they've developed. At the bottom of each player page is a Hall of Fame probability percentage, which is calculated as if a player were to retire today. Bam currently sits at 0.8% for reference. Jason Tatum sits at 34%. Kevin Durant is 100%. Derek White is at 0.01 or 0.1. Strangely, Jonathan Isaac doesn't appear to have odds calculated. That's why Jonathan Isaac will be better than Jason Tatum take from the draft.
Yeah.
Obviously, the tool is understanding the actual odds for the players since most have many star-level years in front of them. But, yeah, your boy Bam has a long way to go. Maybe stick to speculating on Ramondre Stevenson rookie cards on eBay. Love the new show, and congrats on the spring book, Jay. And so this I'll say, yeah, like, I get it. Like, Bam Adebayo probably doesn't deserve to have a Hall of Fame career, but John, Michael Cooper is in the Hall of Fame, correct?
Yes. Michael Cooper was just elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
My point is everyone gets in the Basketball Hall of Fame. I bet there's no one on this USA basketball team that is guaranteed not to get into it. Bam Adebayo, I believe, and almost guarantee will. Adebayo's how old?
26. He'll be 27 next week.
I went to Basketball Reference. I can't find this Hall of Fame thing, but I don't have any reason to doubt the guy that it's there.
I've seen it. It is. It's 0.8.
Very good. Bam Adebayo, for his career, 15 points a game, 8.7 rebounds, 3.5 assists. His win shares, an estimate of the number of wins contributed by the player in 489 games is 50. Michael Cooper played 873 games. Mm-hmm. He's in the Hall of Fame. He averaged 8.9 points a game, 3.2 rebounds, and 4.2 assists. He shot 46% from the field. His win shares was 52.5, 2.4 ahead of Bam Adebayo, who's played half the games. Jonathan?
Why? I said... I was up in the air on Adebayo getting in or not getting in. Same with Drew Holiday. I said everyone else is either in or on track. Adebayo was a question mark to me. I didn't say he wasn't getting in.
My whole point is that everyone gets into the Hall of Fame.
Michael Cooper can get in, and Cooper...
Chris Bosh might have some bigger numbers than I expect him to.
Not really. They're very similar to Bam's. Okay, so let's go like this year. Points per game by Bam, 19. Points by Chris Bosh, career 19. Rebounds is the same career. Assists, Bam averages more.
Okay.
Field goal percentage, Chris Bosh is 49.4. Bam Adebayo is 54.7. And then what PER, player efficiency rating.
Yeah, that's
I would just go for
ESPN stat.
They have the same player efficiency rating, Chris Bosh and Bam Adebayo.
I would say I would take Bam over Chris Bosh, and Chris Bosh is in. So
yeah,
there you go.
Bam's averaged a double-double basically the last 5 years.
Yeah. So anyway, my point wasn't Bam Adebayo is the greatest. Just John said this is a great collection of talent. Here's how it all came up. John said we were talking about obviously the Jaylen Brown thing and how he's getting screwed and how the Olympics is kind of a joke now. And I'm rooting against Team USA actively, and because Jaylen Brown's not on because of Nike. So John said this is, and it's a shame because this is like such a great collection of talent, maybe since the Dream Team. And he said there's like whatever many Hall of Famers on it. And I said, not so fast, John. everyone on this team might be a Hall of Famer.
I said there were 11 Hall of Famers on the Dream Team. I said there should be 10 before all said and done off this team. I wasn't sure about Drew Holiday and Bam Adebayo, and you said everyone gets in.
And I said Bam Adebayo is going to get in for sure. Yeah. And I bet you Drew Holiday gets in. And then we went to random years of who got into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Right.
And it's everybody. If you're on a championship team, if enough years go by and you live, you're getting in the Hall of Fame. That's just the way it is. So Bam Adebayo is getting into the Hall of Fame.
I have an email here. Subject line, best time to go through a drive-thru. And in the content, he says, is not when Fred is clarifying his Hootie comments. Can't go back to that dunks for a while. And
I was poking fun at racism.
But I think I've fallen into this situation too, where I either say something, it's like, oh, if you just hear that out of context, that's not great. Another one here from Ben. Fred, you're on point that the Lemmiwinks navigating Mr. Slave's digestive tract is one of the key examples of the comedic genius of South Park. You missed a key opportunity to question whether Mr. Pancake had both Lemmiwinks and his brother WikiLeaks in his leopard print pajamas. And that is, of course, in reference to Matthew Pancake.
Matthew Pancake.
Who was in the news for his...
Police say video showed a man in leopard print pajamas.
Breaking into a pet store, releasing all the animals, and...
Officers found hamsters in Pancake's pants.
That's right. And when he was arrested, of course...
On your belly, Mr. Pancake! Get on your belly! In the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly!
In the name of the law... In the name of the law, Pancake! Get on your belly! You son of a bitch! Third time this week.
That's right. That's a personal relationship between the two sides.
Yeah. That's not the first time he's put stuff up there. All right. So,
I can't believe I got to cuff my own nephew again. Get over here, Pancake.
Dang, Pancake. We told you to stick to the house pets. Bam Adebayo, 3-time All-Star at 26, 5-time All-Defensive.
Still on Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, I've been going on for a real long time. Michael Cooper, never an All-Star.
He was Defensive Player of the Year at one point and an 8-time.
One year and an 8-time All-Defensive in a 873-game career. So 5-time All-Defensive in a 489-game career and a 3-time All-Star to a guy who never made the All-Star game and was an 8-time All-Defensive player. Now he is a 5-time NBA champion.
Cooper is best known for guarding Larry Bird in the 1980s. That's what he's known for. He's known for nothing else. Except Magic Johnson saying, boy, I'm glad he was on my team.
He had very long arms, Michael Cooper. Very, very long arms. Almost like Spider-Man.
Mitch in New Bedford wants to know, who will you choose for your starting 5 on the 98-5 basketball team? And who would you leave off the roster out of spite? Better question. You got to pick 5, Wallach.
I don't know if I'd leave anyone off due to spite. Who would I spite? Go ahead,
Who's your
John.
starting 5?
My starting 5? I think it would be Fred would start. I think, Sean Silver would start.
Good call.
Sigma move. That was one of his favorite things. I think Sean Silver would start. Matt McCarthy definitely would start. He's a very tall guy. We need a point guard. Who would be the point guard on this team? Be the point guard. I'm trying to think. I don't know who'd be the point guard.
It depends. If you want to go real slow, you get Nick. If there's no officiating, there's no 10-second.
We need an enforcer. That would be Mike. Mike would be the enforcer.
Okay, he'd be the Draymond.
Yeah. I'd leave myself off. I would. I'm a lefty, and people figure that out like 2 or 3 times down the floor. I'm not very quick.
There's a man coming down the hall.
Just for height, you got to go McCarthy and Zolak.
Yeah,
you got to put Zolak out there.
Yeah, that's
I might leave myself off of it.
Yeah,
I would definitely leave myself off of it.
I'm not saying that for a fact. I'm not positive. I'd be better at basketball than anyone on the afternoon show.
Yeah,
I'd be better I might be even better at basketball than Zolak.
But would you start Maz just to see if he blows out his Achilles
He
again.
did that
He was
against the
so
Globetrotters.
lucky.
I remember
Against
that.
Dana
He
Barros.
was so lucky to blow out that Achilles. Oh, did the station bend over for him? He got
Oh,
that
they
limo.
sent limo to his house for like 6 months.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
he didn't have to do anything. He just
Oh.
rode in a limo all around town. He couldn't put any pressure on the gas. He was the luckiest injury that ever happened.
I think it helped his golf game too, because he couldn't kind of shift over on his right side for a while. He had a very stable base on the backswing.
Oh, I don't doubt he played golf while he couldn't drive. I don't doubt that at all. He was probably out there playing golf
I played with him once while he was wearing the boot.
Yep, and he couldn't drive with that boot on, but he could play golf.
Mm-hmm. Well, that'll tell you.
And so, hey, Fred, will you take a pay cut for COVID? Sure. Hey, Fred, you're not working. Go get unemployment insurance. We're not going to pay you.
Mr. Maserati, here's free transportation for 6 months.
Yes, indeed. On the house.
Yeah, nice.
Don't pick up my beverages while they're open. That's just that's
Gross.
Can't do that.
No, not those.
Those are his nicotine lozenges.
Get right pills. Daddy got to get right.
All right, that'll do it for us. Zolak and Bertrand are next. Everyone have a good weekend. It's going to rain tomorrow, so hunker down and enjoy yourselves. Bye.